BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
Razor B on the track.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the Romans, innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos, behind closed doors, she rock them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong, knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worrying about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
All stand, please. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. This honorable court now stands adjourned, sine die. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. Man, I had to play them violins because if they pass this bill in Tennessee, it's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing for these baby mama terrorists. They won't be able to just snap their fingers and say he's the father. They won't be able to run in that courtroom and say he's daddy because I said so, hearsay and word of mouth. Yeah, so that's if they do it. But, we're going to talk about this today. So y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Man, y'all know what the fuck it is. Shit. You may be seated up in this motherfucker. Shout out to the Bay Mama Terrorist Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer. Shout out to Yeah Man. He said that Korean president video keep getting pushed back every day. Hell yeah. But I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, though. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because it's related to this feminist ass shit. So I will be talking about that tomorrow. Yeah. So this is for y'all to know if you're out there in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's another thing. You want to be able to just write people's names down for the welfare. Shout out to Dallas D. You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to just sign his name on the birth certificate, even though you ain't supposed to do it anyway. But don't get it twisted. Some of them nurses look out for these baby mama tears. Anything to set a man up for failure. So yeah, we definitely gonna talk about it today. Like I said, they ain't passed it yet because again, the state don't want that. Them politicians, simple forces don't want that. You know why? Because they'll lose money. I told you it's a business, a $51 billion business. And each state make a lot of money. And also the federal government matches them, I think, 30%, 25%. When I first started, I thought they matched it dollar for dollar. But I found out that the federal government matched their child support 20 or 30%, something like that. I got to go back and look it up. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? If they pass it here, other states going to follow. I doubt it that it goes like that, but if they pass it, it's a change. You know how a lot of them go along and get along, but then again, not when it comes to losing money. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. I was supposed to do the live about that Tabitha Foster yesterday, and I posted. Let me tell y'all what happened. She flagged the shit down, said it was a copyright because of the picture, even though it wasn't showing her face. So they put a strike on me, right? So then I turned around and said, okay, I'll do the 90 days. You do 90 days, they'll take the strike back because it's a copyright. It's not community guidelines. So the next day, which was yesterday, they told me that due to the situation, they don't see no issue. Took the strike away. They took the strike away. So then, now I deleted it, you know what I'm saying, before they took the strike away. But then they said I can post it back up because they didn't see nothing wrong, right? Tell me why when I put that motherfucker back up there, she went and struck it again. This time they striked it. So then I responded and I said, here's the email showing that you prove me being in the right, no issues. The motherfuckers responded back and said, we don't see no evidence showing why the strike should be took down. You can't make this shit up. Even though they emailed me at 4:30 in the morning, I copied that shit and sent it to them. The motherfucker said that like they didn't understand what I was talking about. Motherfucker had amnesia and shit. But that's okay because like I said, 90 days, get rid of the strike. I'm gonna talk about the story in due time. I ain't got it set, I ain't got it planned, but it's gonna be out of the woodwork. It's gonna come out of nowhere that I will be talking about it. So don't even worry about it because it must be out here, it must be exposed. I just have to move a little bit different like a ninja. That's all. It's all good. Time is on my side. See, so like I said, it is what it is. I ain't even worried about it. But I had to talk about this. This came out last week, actually. But like I said, I get so much shit. You know what I mean? I be trying to do what I feel is the most important. Or some I just post on the Instagram. Or I post it on the Twitter. Even if they don't pass this bill, you should automatically do a DNA test any motherfucking way. You shouldn't have to let the government tell you what you should do or what they're going to allow you to do. You have the right to take that DNA test before you sign the birth certificate. There's too many men who get screwed by this unjust system. And one is take care of children that's not theirs. Because she put your name on that link card as the father. So now you're getting set up for failure. Or she tell you you're the father, y'all in a relationship, you believe it. And then down the line, you find out that child ain't yours. But guess what? You got to pay child support because you signed a birth certificate. That's crazy. But I want to give a shout out to Chief Rocket for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate you, my brother. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to put you on game as far as child support and how many men are paying child support for children that's not theirs. I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm gonna play an article with this dude who was paying at first he was paying child support because this motherfucker was wanted to get not section 8. She wanted to get link cards and get government handout. They never had sex. She put his name on the list. And she gonna come out and tell y'all that she did because she needed to get welfare and they had to put a man's name down on that. She admitted it. But guess what? Michigan, good old Michigan, they known for having laws where, hey, if it ain't your kid and you know, she said you is, it is what it is by law. They got that in right, even though it's not law, some bullshit ass contract. They got it just like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that. Everybody tune in. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely need your support, of course. You know what I mean? I hope everybody had a good day yesterday, and I hope everybody having a good day today. It's been drizzling all day. It's been like 45 degrees, 40 degrees. You know what I mean? Yeah, Michigan is notorious for that. It's definitely notorious for that. But most of them states, if you sign a birth certificate, that judge gonna keep your ass paying. Well, you've been paying this long. Why you gonna stop now? Because it's about the money. Then a few states will be like, oh, he ain't the father. They just gonna take him off. You know. But I want to show y'all something. Let me make this bigger for y'all. 1.6 million men pay child support for kids that aren't theirs. 1.6 million men pay child support for kids that's not theirs. This in the United States. And look right here. Creating slaves. So when you hear a man say, I'm being treated like a slave when it comes to this court system and child support, this is one of the reasons why. They take care of children or paying some type of financial obligation to a child that's not his. 1.6 million men pay child support. Now that's all men, white, black, Hispanic, Indian, whatever. It ain't saying black men, it ain't just saying white men. It's in the United States. 1.6 million men pay child support for kids that aren't theirs. Now it's saying something about what John F. Kennedy said. He said, those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. That's a good one. That comes from President John F. Kennedy. I'm going to read it again. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. So in other words, while we trying to fight and do it the right way, we continue to get screwed. We continue to suffer. We continue to deal with baby mama terrorism, lose your livelihood. You're going to have somebody do today's the day. I tried doing it the right way. I tried doing it the peaceful way. I tried turning the other cheek. I tried begging, pleading, and crying and everything else. I tried showing receipts. It ain't working. So I got to go another route. So now today's the day. So this was coming from John F. Kennedy. Now check this out. Today, 30% of DNA paternity tests, nearly 1 in 3, prove that the man involved is not the father of the child in question. Currently, more than 300,000 such tests are done each year. Since it is unlikely that these paternity tests were done without an underlying reason, almost certainly involving payment of child support, there are thus over 90,000 men who have been falsely accused of paternity each year. 90,000 men each year. Yeah, shout out to Maury. Shout out to Majestic for the $5 donation. He said in Texas, we have a similar law called Mistaken Paternity Bill passed in 2011. A man paying child support has within 1 year to stop it after a DNA test. Shout out to you, my brother. But here's the problem, though. If you got one of these baby mama terrorists, she have a child, you don't know it, She move out of she'll move somewhere else when you don't know where she at. She waited a year and a half, 2 years to come back and say, yeah, this is kid. And then he do DNA test. Guess what? He still got to pay that child support. Hey, I didn't get no information, no letter, nothing. So see, so yeah, that's cool as a start, but you know how these baby mama tests do. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Young Fresh. He said, hey, I have my child support hearing tomorrow. Wish me luck. Everybody hit the ones up in here for prayers. Hopefully he pay less as possible. And hopefully he get equal pay time if that's what he able to do and that's what he want. And hopefully he got all the receipts to show the court that, you know, I'm not what she say I am. Because, you know, they're quick to say you ain't shit, deadbeat, and low life. So, yeah, put the ones in for this brother. You know. Let's continue. Maybe if we didn't encourage such behavior by enslaving men to pay for it, we wouldn't have so much of it. Yes, I agree. You didn't have this type of behavior where a baby mama test is allowed to throw you on the bus and make you a father to a child that she knows is not his. And he knows, or maybe he don't know. But the reason why they encourage it because more money in the cookie jar. Remember I told y'all about Title 4D. They can go in there voluntarily, and say, this dude the father. You the father. I want to put you under the bus. And the judge gonna say, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, fam. They don't give a damn. Shout out to Cyrus for the $5 donation. He said, Mr. Palm, you cool with Fresh and Fit? I mean, I ain't never had no dialogues with them. You know, they never talked to me. I never talked to them. I don't know if they watch my shit. So ain't no beef and no issues. You know what I mean? If they was invite me on the show, I'll definitely go. You know, but nah, I mean, no issues with them. You know, shout out to them. But I don't know them like that to be reaching out and say, hey, fam, what's good and all that. So nah. But I mean, shit, even on that channel, I need to be told about this system when it come to men, because it don't matter what situation, how much money, again, what race, what political ties, high value, low value, in the hood, suburb, don't make a difference. No one is exempt from this shit. You know what I mean? Let's continue. But the courts are notorious for continuing child support even when it has been proven the man named is not the biological father. With few exceptions, we can assume that a minimum of 90,000 men a year are being indentured for onerous payments for a period of at least 18 years in the United States. So you out there in Florida, you out there in New York, you'll be paying for a child that's not yours, so they 21. And I was looking at a clip, y'all gonna look at it. It was in Massachusetts. If that child go to college, they gotta pay till they 23. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to KC Moto Sports for the $10. And they said, salute to the Couch Gang. Couch Gang, Couch Gang. Yeah. That's crazy. That would suggest that at a minimum, 1.6 million men are enslaved today by the courts to pay for the other men, children, 90,000 men per year for 18 years. The sample size of 300,000 plus DNA tests a year suggests that, as an upper limit, 30% of all children are conceived by a man other than the one named by the mother. They not tell y'all, I said 33% of men in the United States are paying for children that's not theirs. They got 30%, so I was close to the motherfucker. And one thing about it, y'all, I definitely love the donations, definitely love the support. I definitely want more of it because I'm trying to upgrade my couch and shit. But, you know, you can hit the like button. That's one thing that is free. So it can go through the algorithm and so it can spread like wildfire. So please hit the like button, come up in here. We got 125 people, 81 likes. We get them likes up to 125. That's crazy. That's crazy. With 4 million children now born each year in the United States, 1.2 million men are likely victims of paternity fraud each year. It could be presumed that by the great majority of these deceived men are enslaved by the courts and the mothers' lies to support these children until at least 18. Therefore, as many as 21 million men are indentured today, either by marriage or the courts to pay much of their income for children that they have no biological ties to. And on that note, I'm gonna let Denzel speak for Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Shout out to Cyrus for the $2 donation. He said, why does the manosphere got so many flip-flops? Well, one of the reasons is they don't have no integrity. Another reason is they trying to follow a certain motherfucker that got shit popping and got, a lot of subscribers and getting paid. So they want to join the team by any means. And at one point, it was about spreading awareness and building a brotherhood. It was about a unit. But then they said it wasn't making that much money. It benefits more cable for baby mama terrorists and bring them on over here into space. So it's a lot of reasons, but that's one of the reasons. That's one of the main reasons. So it is what it is, But what's unfortunate, that brothers that call the fuckery out and expose the shit with receipts, you got motherfuckers saying that you just mad because I make more money than you, or you mad because I'm more successful than you, or you just jealous because we doing this and you ain't. You a pookie. You can't make this shit up. You can't. That's why I just stay in my lane. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate it, but that's true. That's all I can tell you, bro. That's all I can tell you on that one. But yeah. So even if you get married and do it the right way, because they say you should have got married before you carried the shit, you do it the right way, you still could get screwed by paying child support for a child that's not yours, especially when you're married. Because most states got it where if you married and she cheat, you still got to pay that child support. Don't matter. Even if y'all separated, you're not legally separated, but you separated, she can put you on child support because you the husband. And she know you ain't the father. He know he ain't the father. She can still put you on child support. Now, Illinois, I believe you got 3 months to opt out. I ain't the father if you married. I think it's 3 to 6 months. Certain states have that. Some states don't have it at all. But what if you don't know? You didn't know nothing about it. She's separated. You living on the south side. She on the north side. How would you know if she don't say nothing? Then 3 months later, or 6 months later, or a year later, she put you on child support. They're gonna tell you it's too late. You should have went back and did this. Well, you should have known better. Fuck. So let's continue. From the lower limit of 1.6 million men proven to be current victims of paternity fraud to the upper estimate of 21 million, the middle ground of 10 million men presently enslaved by this fraud appears reasonable. For comparison, there were it's a link to the AOL.com. 3,953,696 slaves in the United States were counted in the 1860 census. 4 million slaves in the 1860 were the catalyst for a terrible civil war in which nearly 1 million men were killed or wounded. Out of the crucible came the lesson enshrined in the 13th Amendment to our federal Constitution: neither slavery or involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subjected to their jurisdiction. This is what I mean by they can take you and lock you up because you ain't paid your child support. What's up, Ricky Manor? They lock your ass up. You don't pay your child support? Okay, we're gonna lock your ass up and make you a slave. You're already a slave in the streets, but now you're gonna be a slave in the jail system. and you're gonna do your time until you come with that lump sum of money you owe, and it gotta be cash. And then maybe after 3 months, you come back to the judge, and maybe he'll have mercy on your soul, or maybe say go back in there and do some more time. And at so many times, it could make you a felony. See, they got the 13th Amendment still for a reason. We against slavery. We don't do slavery, but except we lock you up and put you in jail. Yeah. And you get paid, what, a nickel an hour or some shit? Can't make this shit up. Now, Colorado, as do most states, have similar languages. I don't know how to say that word, but Article 2, Section 26 of the Colorado Constitution states there shall never be in this state either slavery or involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. I have no wish to quarrel with that stark dictate, but Colorado judges seems to, and tens of thousands of men here are indentured or imprisoned to pay for children not theirs. So let's go back what Colorado say. Colorado say the Constitution, Colorado, Section 26 of the Colorado section. I ain't going to do that. They will never be in this state either slavery or involuntary servitude as a punishment, except as a punishment. They basically say they don't believe in that slavery shit, but at the same time, if a man behind on the child support or can't afford it or COVID, whatever, the judges still put their ass in jail. They still suffer. They still getting punished for some shit that they couldn't control. And especially men who are paying for a child that's not theirs. Let's continue. A case study of attempted reform. Yeah, good luck with that. The Equal Justice Foundation is hardly the first and certainly not the last to attempt peaceful reform of the felony, fraud, perjury, and adultery inherent in false paternity cases. They've been trying to do this shit for a lot of years, y'all. For people that think this just happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, this shit been going on for a long time. And to this day, they still ain't changed a goddamn thing. You can't make this shit up. Why would they? Shout out to Mega Real Realty for the $10 donation. He says, showing some love. Shout out to Cottage Grove. You should live up the road in HP. For those who don't know what HP means, it means Hyde Park. Shout out to you, my brother. Cottage Grove. Farrakhan live out there in Hyde Park. Obama live out there. Well, you know, he got a house out there still in Hyde Park. It's a lot of big time politicians stuff that live over there. And that's where the University of Chicago, one of the best hospitals in the world. So, yeah, Hyde Park. Shout out to you, brother. Very expensive over there. Very expensive. Especially now. Now, Colorado House of Representatives. To his great credit, Colorado Representative Bill Sinclair, a veteran of 3 wars and serving his last session in the legislature, introduced a bill in 2004 to allow but not require men to stop paying child support payments when DNA testing showed they were not the father of children they were indentured to support. A matter of justice and constitutional law, you might naively think, but you will be wrong because you have crassly ignored what the courts and legislators regard as the best interests of the child. Like I said, there are brothers who are on child support, and even though the courts know he's not the father, guess what? It's still the best interest of the child that you pay. Well, what about the mama? She's actually the mama. No, we don't want her because she don't make shit. Or shit, she do make good money, but we want you because we can't fuck them up like that. Best interest of the child, the words that came strictly from Adolf Hitler, for those who talk about white supremacy. Best interest of the children. That's what the states and all these social services, and they use that, and that came from Adolf Hitler. Now, there may be some small fraction of cockorded men who can maintain a loving relationship with children proven to have been sired by some other man, but we don't hear from them. We do hear from many men who have been driven away from what they presume were their children by vindictive and vengeful baby mama terrorists using restraining orders. Oh, yeah, we know about that. Restraining orders, arrest, and moving away with the children. So say nothing of the irrational acts of family court. Now, I'm going to read that again because that seems to happen with a lot of you. That seems to happen with a lot of you. A lot of you men out here. A lot of you grandparents, paternal grandparents. It seems to even happen to aunties, uncles of the father's side of the family, of course. I'm going to read it again. We do hear from many men who have been driven away from what they presume were their children by vindictive and vengeful women using restraining orders, arrests, and moving away with the children, to say nothing of irrational acts of family court. And family court, most times, 9 times out of 10, don't do a goddamn thing. It is what it is, fam. You current on your child's support? Did you pay up your rearage? Oh, you didn't? Well, what can I do for you? Because I don't take you serious. Because if you was seriously about that, you'll pay up your rearage. You cannot make this shit up. Check this out. 40% of the hundreds of married men who contact the Equal Justice Foundation for help to do so after they find evidence that wives are having an affair, these men are falsely charged with what? Domestic violence and abuse. Domestic violence or abuse, and suffer the crushing weight of being driven from their homes and children by restraining orders that are handled by judges like candy. I gotta read that again for you dumb motherfuckers that sit back and tell me all you gotta do is go to court. All you gotta do is just show them this paper and you gonna get what you want. When these baby mama tears tell you, these feminist baby mama tears tell you, oh, well, all you had to do was just go in there and fight. The problem is you ain't fight. Or they say you ain't fight hard enough. Don't this sound like one of y'all brothers? There are men who've been charged with domestic violence or abuse and suffering the crushing weight of being driven from their homes that they paid for, who names on the mortgage, on the deed, getting driven from their homes and children by restraining orders that are handed out by the same judges. We got to go beg to get equal parenting time, or beg to get sole custody, or beg to get to have any type of parenting time. As a result of these all too frequently false allegations, women are given the house, the kids, the car, the bank account, the generous child support, and sometimes alimony, parentheses, maintenance, as a reward for their adultery. You can't make this shit up. But see, my mama black. Yeah, see, I hate women. But even if I did hate women, shouldn't that be grounds to hate them? I hate women. I hate my mama. But if that was the truth and that was the real, reading this right here should not have that motherfucking right. But that's not the case, though. But at least motherfucker will understand. But see, society don't understand that because, one, they pay for these baby mama terrorists. 2, they making money from these baby mama terrorists. 3, they some sympathy forces who was raised by a baby mama terrorist. There's a lot of factors. Another reason is, hey, I don't like this dude because he say fuck child support. So good for him if he go through this shit. Fuck him, right? Then also, well, you telling the truth, but I can't talk about it because this don't make me enough money. I got to go over there to the winning team over there and talk about tickling a woman's chin, telling her that she could be whatever she want to be. She'll still get that man. A lot of different factors. Now, mind y'all, I don't know none of y'all. I ain't seen y'all face to face. But yet, y'all in different cities, different states, different towns, some of y'all in other countries, and I'll be damned y'all ain't been through this shit. False allegations. False allegations. And a lot of y'all say the same shit. False allegations, domestic violence, abuse. You beat the kid. You try to touch the kid in a sexual way and all this shit. And guess what? You fight in court and they give that bitch the house, the kids, your car, and your bank account, and you're going to be paying that child support and sometimes alimony. And that's a reward for them cheating, a reward for them fucking around with your brother, fucking around with another bitch, or hell, just get a reward because, you know, she might not cheat and did none of that, but she tired of you. 10 years to pass. I got opportunity to get maintenance, so I might as well end this right now. You can't make this shit up. They're rewarded for bad behavior because it benefits government daddy. But let's continue. And when DNA paternity tests prove he isn't the father, the child support do not stop. It doesn't stop at all. It don't stop at all. Even if you got proof that, hey, I ain't the father. Don't matter. Now they got it where if you're the stepfather and you adopt that child, you got to pay that child support. I believe in Tennessee, they try to pass a law, they did pass a law that even if you're not married and y'all live in the same household, that you have to pay child support. I know Oklahoma do that. But I think Tennessee doing something like that, or did something like that. You can't make this shit up. And a lot of y'all been through false allegations and don't shit happen. Even when they find out it ain't true, they just sweep it on the rug, say, okay, now you can get your child again. As Perfect Blackness, he know that for a fact, 7 times or 6 times false allegations, and all these motherfuckers doing it just, okay, you get your child back again. You gotta get your lawyer to pay another $10,000. Yeah, something ain't right, but you know, I don't really know what to say. We'll just let our family court therapist interview her. Get the fuck out of here. Let's continue. Presumably, Colorado gives men 5 years after a child is born to challenge paternity, but commonly the blow up comes when the children are older than 5 years and up. To that point, the man perhaps naive had faith and trust in his wife. How about he didn't know till after the fact? If this is my wife and we supposed to be married and we got our vows and shit, why would I think she's fucking around with another man? We ain't had no problems, no issues, nothing like that. Why would I have that mindset to think that? But I'm going to keep it real with y'all in this day and age. Married, you got a good woman, shit like that. You cannot 100% trust these motherfuckers. You cannot 100% trust these motherfuckers. Some people might say, oh, you wrong for that and all that shit. I ain't trying to hear that. In this day and age, you cannot trust anybody 100%. I'm going to read it again. Colorado gives men 5 years after the child is born to challenge the paternity, but commonly the blow up comes when the children are older than 5 years and up. To that point, the man perhaps naively had faith and trust in his wife. But then y'all motherfuckers get mad when men say, I ain't getting married. I'm not having no children. I'm going to go overseas, find me somebody over there. I'm not dating a single mom. Y'all get offended. But when you hear all this shit, y'all don't say a goddamn thing. You say, hey, well, it is what it is. You should have picked better. Should have kept your pants zipped. Your mama black. Oh, if you broke, just say so. You didn't want to be a father. These are husbands. We ain't even got to the unmarried. This is talking about the husband. This is just in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? But he's naive because he didn't think to do a motherfucking paternity test, a DNA, with his fucking wife. It shouldn't be no limit. Once I find out there ain't no motherfucking wear a condom. Yeah, that's the best of them all. Wear a condom, that bust. But like I said, y'all motherfuckers get mad at me because I'm putting it out there. We also hear many cases, as did Representative Rep. Sinclair, where the man had no idea a child even existed until a child support collection agency began garnishing their ways, sometimes even after the child is fucking grown. You can't make this shit up. Y'all remember reproductive coercion. Remember that doctor? Big time doctor making 6 figures, high value, whatever you want to call it. And she finessed the husband who was there and finessed the man that she wanted to marry. took his sperm, give him head, took his sperm and injected in herself and put the man on child support a year and a half later. Had the husband sign the fucking birth certificate. Y'all got to go back and watch that. That's based on a true story in Illinois. And yes, she's a doctor. She don't look like the type that do some shit like that. That's why I tell y'all, do not go off somebody's class. Because the worst baby mama test is the one with 6 figures, the one with licensed degrees of professional, because they got a shield to hide behind. Let's continue. A 1996 federal welfare law requires a woman to name a father, no questions asked. When she applies for public assistance, oftentimes, many years after the child is born, a paternity notice is often then mailed to the man's last known address. For a variety of reasons, men often don't get the notice, particularly if they are in the armed forces. Shout out to you military guys. A default judgment of paternity is then entered. They don't give a fuck about you being in the military serving this country. They know you in the armed forces, but they send it to the address where you reside at. So now you over there fighting Afghanistan, and you wonder why 30% of your money is taken away when you get your check. Commonly, we hear the men have never seen the child and knew the mother only briefly, if at all. Almost certainly the child doesn't know the man paying child support. Yeah, because they're going to tell the child he a deadbeat, low life, he never did shit. Fuck him. I'm doing everything. That's why a lot of y'all found out down the line that the baby mama tells lied and told your son and daughter that he never paid for a goddamn thing. Or vice versa. You found out your daddy was trying to pay, or he was paying, or he was trying to be involved. But you growing the motherfucker. And the baby mama tells mama wouldn't allow it. And if you believe the courts or child support collection agencies will stop these support payments simply because DNA paternity tests prove the child isn't his, I'd like to make you a wonderful and generous offer on a bridge we own. That's right. Because you know what the judge say when you find out you're not the father?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
You're going to keep paying that child support. Despite the clear justices, and the constitutional mandates, it was a minor miracle that Rep. Sinclair's reform bill made it out of the committee. More remarkably, the bill passed the Colorado House by a single vote. However, the House heavily amended the bill to yet again leave discretion in the hands of the judges to continue the child support. See how they played that game? Yeah, they passed it. Look, they passed the shit, right? But however, the House heavily, that means they like, fuck this shit. We got, we can pass the bill, but we cannot allow us to lose this money. So they say heavily amended the bill to yet again leave the discretion in the hands of the judges to continue child support, continue to enslave a man if they found it was the best interest of the child, despite paternity fraud. Even though they passed the bill, this Colorado, and they all wanted the same, they put it in the hands of these judges who's about making money, who's about getting a piece of the action, who's about keeping their seat so they don't get out of there if they found it was best interest of the child. Again, I'm going to let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X. Go ahead, tell him, Denzel.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
So even if they pass these laws, they find a way to have it where, yeah, we passed the law, hey, yeah. But the judges don't have to follow it. They can go against it by saying, no, you're going to pay this child support. It don't matter because I'm the judge. That's what I say. And y'all think that this court system is fair for you men? Yeah, all right. I ain't reading no more. It's a lot, but I could stop right here. Right here, goddammit. Right here, I could stop right there. I don't need to play. I don't need to read no more. Oh, yeah, you're right. Dallas D, I said misspoke. Best interest of the state. Yes. It's best interest of the state. It's never best interest of the children. Yeah, it's the best interest of the state. That's what I'm saying. It's about the money, about the dollar amount. You know, hey, look, man, on some real shit. You know, I'm telling y'all some real shit. I'm coming out with some real shit. I'm coming out with some real shit. Y'all need to come out with some real support and definitely donate. You see what I'm saying? Y'all definitely need to donate, man. I'm coming with some real shit. I ain't coming off the wall shit. I ain't lying to you. I ain't sending you off. I do my due diligence, do my to find out what's going on, get as much as I can for y'all to see what's good. I ain't talking about the ones that donate on the regular. I'm just saying, because this shit need to be out here, but at the same time, when y'all support, I can definitely do more, and I can definitely upgrade my platform. So I definitely need y'all support. You know what I mean? I can't work at Walmart. They don't like fire. They want baby mama tears at Walmart. I can't work at Walmart. So definitely show y'all love and show y'all support for this real shit right here. Now, I want y'all to check this out. I'm not gonna read the article, but I want y'all to see this video. This is current. Well, let me show y'all the title. This is current. And yeah, definitely get the likes up. Shit. Definitely get the likes up. This is the bill that could make it mandatory for unmarried fathers to take a DNA test to sign birth certificates. This is in Tennessee. This is Fox News 13. Definitely need to take heed of this and learn from this. Shout out to Chief Rock for the $10 donation. He said second time, Mr. Palmer. Yeah, I wasn't talking about you, bro. But yeah, appreciate you, Chief Rocker. But I want y'all, it's only 2.5 minutes. I want you to hear what they got to say. Yeah, Walmart ain't hiring for me. Shout out to E Senior for the $9.99. He say salute, Mr. Palmer, showing some support. Cows gay. Yeah. So let's check this out right quick. Let me raise the volume up because I want y'all to hear real good. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, okay, it went on. The value went on.
New tonight, a bill proposed in the Tennessee state legislature could make it mandatory now for fathers out of wedlock to take a DNA test before signing a birth certificate.
Fox 13 government reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live. Kayla, this bill was discussed and passed in a House committee today. And, you know, it goes back. There have been advocates who said it could solve a lot of problems if it were just the first thing that happens for all babies.
That's right, Merle. And this is also coming on the heels of another child support reform bill that was recently passed that says if fathers fall behind too much on child support, they can now lose custody of their children. Now, I spoke to one Memphis.
Now, I want y'all to hear what she said. Yeah, they passing the bill to eliminate paternity fraud, make it mandatory that unwedded father, unwedded father, do the paternity test or DNA before they sign a birth certificate. But they also passed a law that you could lose custody of your child if you're too far behind on child support. So you see how these motherfuckers like, okay, yeah, we'll pass that, but check this out. We're gonna do this. So if you behind on your child support, maybe you sick, maybe because you got COVID, maybe you know what I'm saying, you in jail for some whatever it is. Maybe you lost your job. They telling you that
Babies.
They telling you that you lose custody. But here's the thing. Majority of them don't get no custody. So I mean, I guess you won't get to every other weekend. Because the majority of us don't get no equal parenting or 40%. You know, so they like, yeah, if we do this, we're gonna do that. But let's hear that. I want you to hear it real good when she said that. Either way, it's trapping the bullshit. Let's continue. Well, hold on. Before I do that, let me give a shout out to the kosher clinician. I'll be on his show Sunday at 2:00 Central Standard Time, and that's 3:00 Eastern Time. We're gonna talk about change the laws in your mind. Shout out to you, my brother. $5 donation. Subscribe to his channel too. Shout out to JB, man, from California for the $5 donation. He says tapping in. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Perfect Blackness. He's also from Chicago. $5 donation. He said best interest of the child is one of the biggest jokes the courts had ever come up with. The child's interest is never in the court's calculus. The reason why they say that because they love Adolf Hitler and what he speak on. That's why it's used as best interest of the child. It came from Adolf Hitler. Y'all can look it up your damn self. Shout out to my brother. Since y'all say white supremacy. Well, let's hear this again from this woman. I don't know if it was a hair hat. I don't know if it's real or not, but let's hear what you gotta say.
That's right, Merle. And this is also coming on the heels of another child support reform bill that was recently passed that says if fathers fall behind too much on child support, they can now lose custody of their children. Now, I spoke to one Memphis representative who says this is specifically for couples who are not married.
This is a big deal. This is an issue that needs to be fixed.
State Representative Antonio Parkinson says the conception of this bill came from a haircut trip.
You know, I was in the barbershop and this young man stopped me and he said that he was in a long-term relationship. They had a child. They were living together at the time.
Parkinson says the man went on to say that after the kid turned 5, he found out his partner had an affair, and a DNA test later revealed the man was not the child's father after all.
When they went to court over the child support, he presented the DNA evidence. The magistrate, and this is in Shelby County Juvenile Court, the magistrate basically banged the gavel down and said, somebody's got to feed them, and it's going to be you. Until
this dude was in a long-term relationship, just like a lot of y'all was in a long-term relationship. Not that y'all went through paternity fraud, but y'all was in a long-term relationship. You was a good father, you was the best man, and all that shit. But as soon as y'all break up, she run to that courtroom and call you a devil, a dog, a abuser, a rapist, and everything else. And that pussy-ass judge say you ain't shit, you deserve every other weekend, and you need to pay $1,000 a month. Now, this brother was at the barbershop, because that's where a lot of men usually talk, but you got so many mothers who bring the kids to the barbershop, you know, you can't really say too much now. 5 years, he thought that child was his. Do a DNA, find out the child ain't his, and that judge says, somebody got to pay for that child. Actually, what he was saying is, he wasn't saying somebody got to pay for that child. He said, somebody got to pay for Gummy Daddy. It's not about the children. So they get that baby mama Terry that incentive to go ahead and set a man up for failure, whether he's the father or not. I want y'all to hear that shit again with y'all dumb motherfuckers in the back.
5, he found out his partner had an affair, and a DNA test later revealed the man was not the child's father after all.
When they went to court over the child support, he presented the DNA evidence. The magistrate, and this is in Shelby County Juvenile Court, the magistrate basically banged the gavel down and said, somebody's got to feed him, and it's going to be you until he ages out of child support.
Parkinson says the man ended up having to pay up to 5 years in child support as a result, and also ended up losing his license, job, and going to jail temporarily. House Bill 2698 will make it so that if a prospective father...
I got to stop right there. Imagine for you brothers who never been to jail before. You know, you never been to jail before. You might have got arrested, but you never been to jail before. You know, served time or whatever. And the first time you go to jail is because of a baby mama terrorist. Because you was behind on your child support. Because she accused you of abusing and raping her or raping the kid. That's some fucked up shit. You never been to jail before, never been arrested, but then you get arrested or you go to jail because of a baby mama terrorist in family court. You just can't make that shit up. A lot of men have been to jail only because of fucking child support and these baby mama terrorists. Let's continue.
House Bill 2698 will make it so that if a prospective father wants to voluntarily sign a birth certificate, he has to provide DNA test results first. Parkinson says this doesn't only impact Memphis.
The rural district attorneys were looking for somebody to carry legislation to start reforming our child support system, because it's rural guys that are getting hit with these same laws, and it is hurting them.
The rural guys. And who normally live in the rural areas. See, we be in urban communities. We're mostly in urban communities. So when you talk about the rural area, you know who's there. And when I tell y'all that, yeah, we get screwed, we get fucked up, but we're not the worst ones. We're not the niggas when it comes to family court. That's all I need to say on that one. But it is what it is, fam. Let's continue the last seconds of it.
Now, I reached out to the Department of Human Services for a response to this, and they did not immediately give me a response. Once we have that, of course, we'll update this story for you. Now, this bill moves on to the Senate floor tomorrow morning. Live in Memphis, Kayla Solomon, Fox 13 News.
Kayla, thank you.
That's a good one. The rural area. That's a good one. That's a good one. Instead of just saying that shit, white folks get it worse than we do. If they ain't gonna pass it for them, you damn sure they ain't gonna pass it for us. Yeah. Yeah. But they sit back and tell you that it's black men that don't want to be fathers, and black men don't know how to be alphas and shit like that. You know, the non-color people are the ones that don't have these problems. And on that note, I gotta let Denzel speak for Malcolm X. The rural areas. That's a good one though.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Yep. That's why you got Clifford Burns and others that's out here that been doing the off in your head shit.
Hi, I'm Dr. Catherine Sneed, and this is.
I want y'all to check this one out. I want y'all to hear this for yourselves. It's part 2 of this bill.
IV therapy and so many.
That would prevent
Now, let's make this bigger. I want y'all to hear it. I want y'all to hear this because that's what all these states believe. That's what they all say. And I'm not even going to let them say it first.
That would prevent unmarried men from claiming a child that isn't biologically their own is making its way through the Tennessee legislature. Action News 5's Bria Bolden spoke with the local lawmaker behind this bill to find out why he believes the law is needed. Bria?
Well, Joe, House Bill 2698 passed through the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee today now, but it didn't come without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of this bill, and he told me today he has spoken with constituents who said they have had to foot the bill for child support even after finding out a child they originally thought was theirs was not.
We presented the magistrate with the DNA findings. The magistrate said, somebody got to take care of him, referring to the child, and it's going to be you, and gavelled him out.
Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring House Bill 2698 that would require DNA evidence proving paternity before a man signs a birth certificate for a child that may not be biologically his.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services says if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
I guess the concerns that we have is that the bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
After
I want y'all to hear that again for what Semper Forcer #1 said, because I told y'all it's not about what's right. It's not about the best interest of the child to find the actual father. He's saying that it's not going to benefit government daddy's pockets.
Here I come to save the day.
I want y'all to hear one more again for you dumb motherfuckers in the back that sit back and say, child support, that's the best thing they ever did. The course is fair. The course is about what's the best interest of the child. Now, I want y'all to hear this motherfucker again. Shout out to MPI for the $2 donation. He said DNA tests should be for wedded fathers too. I have to agree with that. I doubt they do it, but I agree with that. But I want y'all to hear that again. I'm going to play it again. Shout like, please play it again. I'm going to play it 3 times. I want these dumb motherfuckers that tell you that child support is fair. Child support is right. I don't see why y'all want to change the damn thing. Okay, let's hear it again.
Human Services said
guilty or in some cases of paternity.
They trying to fight this shit. So again, when women tell you, because particularly black women would tell you, man made the laws. Which man are you talking about? Because it wasn't a black man. So don't even come with that bullshit about men made laws. Black men didn't make these laws. So even if you want to use that, white men made these fucking laws, not us. Shout out to Beta Male Police for the $10. And they said, is this $10 enough to get Clifford Burns out really quick? LOL. That's what I'm saying. I'm coming with some real shit, man. Yeah, man, that need y'all support, man. I'm telling you. Let's hear it again. Let me go a little further. I want y'all to hear
people
real clear.
to be out, which is allowing people to be guilty or in some cases of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services says if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
I guess the concerns that we have is that the bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
After speaking with attorneys,
you heard what that Simon Forcer said?
Of Human Services says if made in
by
you even heard what the media said, what this newswoman said. He said they could lose $52 million. So on the average, just Tennessee, the state of Tennessee gets $52 million in child support, whether you are the father, whether you're not the father, whether you get every other weekend, whether you get equal parenting time, you still pay child support. Whether you white, black, blue, or green, whether you live in the suburbs, whether you live in a hut, whether you a police officer all the way down to a motherfucking soldier. But y'all motherfuckers tell me that, oh, child support is fair. I don't see what the problem is. Oh, I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it one more time. Shout out to Chief Rocker for the $5 donation. He said, you can't make this up. Hit the Pac-Man for me, Mr. Palmer. Yep. Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to Dallas D for the $20 donation. In the best interest, if the black community. Shout out to you, my sister. Hey, ain't you going live today? I believe Dallas D is going live today. And I believe it's going to be at 7 or 8 o'clock. Definitely tune in. I will be tuning in. Definitely subscribe to the channel. She come with that real shit. She know the laws front to back. She's definitely for men's rights. Shout out to you. So I'm going to play it again. I want y'all to hear $52 million they get a year. You think they want to make it fair for men to have equal parenting time or make it fair to give the man custody because she a piece of shit? Oh, no. Let me go ahead and let Denzel again speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Now I see why they call Nashville Cashville. They call it Cashville because the state of Tennessee gets $52 million. Now check this out. This is South. This is a Southern state. Yeah, she will be live. She'll be live tonight. She's Central Standard Time. Check this out. Tennessee is the South. And y'all know it's cheaper in the South than it is in like California, New York, Chicago, Florida, shit like that. So if Tennessee is making $52 million, Imagine what California is making. Imagine what New York is making. Imagine what Chicago, Illinois is making. Imagine what Massachusetts or Connecticut, all these high expensive ass states, Florida. Imagine how much they making. And y'all motherfuckers sit back and tell me that it ain't like that. It's just because you did it the wrong way. Shout out to Willie Boylan for $5 donation. He said, stay on these Bay Mama Terrace next. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the Bay Mama Terrace next. Yeah, DMV. I'm gonna stay on these Simple Forces next. I'm gonna stay on these feminists and these fake ass politicians, these bull ass niggas that talk that bullshit on here. I'm on everybody neck. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Bay Mama Terrace Bounty Hunters. And y'all wonder how do I know it's a $51 billion business? You can't make this shit up. Let's hear it one more time. What's up, Bino? Let's hear it one more time, and I'm going to keep it playing. But I want y'all to take heed to what he said. Yeah, you know, we're going to lose money. Dallas D is going live tonight. I believe at 7 o'clock. If Tennessee, because Tennessee is not an expensive state compared to other states, making $52 million a year in child support, just imagine what Illinois and everybody else paying. Let's hear it one more time, and I'm going to keep it going.
Allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
However, the Tennessee Department of Human Services says if made into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
I guess the concerns that we have is that the bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
After speaking with attorneys from the U.S. Department of Human Services, Representative Parkinson says the bill would not affect the money the state receives.
It's only right and the moral thing to do, an ethical thing to do, to ensure that the right people's names that match their DNA is on that birth certificate.
They don't give a fuck about no morals. They don't give a fuck about doing the right thing. They don't give a fuck about the right way. And just like the brother asked me earlier, why is the Black Manosphere flip-floppers? Because they don't give a fuck about morals. They don't give a fuck about integrity. They don't give a fuck about doing it the right way and speaking the truth. All they give a fuck about is catching that bag. That's all. That's no different. These motherfuckers, the only thing they care about is getting that money in that collection plate. And yes, it's federally matched. I think it ain't dollar for dollar. I thought it was. I was wrong. I believe it's 30%, something like that. And a lot of us know if you fight and go to the Supreme Court and you got all your ducks in order and all that shit, you spend the money and you do this for years, you have a chance for them to go ahead and wipe you out. They don't wipe you out of this child support because it's the right thing. They only do it because they don't want to make no big deal out. Okay, it's one dude out the track, but the rest of these dudes is on child support. The 85% of the United States still benefit us. And that's why I have to question the federal government. Like y'all said, the federal government is federally wrong when it comes to child support. It's illegal. But at the same time, they match the state dollars for child support. So do you really believe that the federal is really for what's right? Or they just really just like, okay, if you come this far, we'll sweep on the rug. Fuck it. Just one motherfucker. Just two motherfuckers. Just three motherfuckers. We got millions and millions of men paying child support. Just like when it comes to the marijuana laws that's passed in some of these states. Federally it's a crime. It can be a federal crime. But they turn their head when it comes to the state. So don't think that the federal is for you men. The federal is a business as well. Ain't none of them shit. Just like they try to pass the law, the 50-50 parenting time, equal parenting time in Illinois, mandatory. That shit been on the table for over 5 years now. Because the majority is not fighting to pass it. And as long as they put up a fight, they're going to leave it on the table. Only one politician tried to fight it. And the same thing this dude said, this civil force said, was the same thing the other guy said. If we give out mandatory equal parent time, we'll lose millions. We're not going to make no money. We won't benefit. And y'all motherfuckers tell me that child support is for the best interest of the child. Okay. Shout out to the Beta Male Police for the $5 donation. He said, man, while we was all in school getting indoctrinated and learning how to become simps to this system, none of this was mentioned once and ain't never gonna be mentioned. They're gonna talk about alphabet history and everything else before they talk about some child support and save yourselves and shit. And be careful, change the laws of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stephen Moore. He must be from Illinois. He said Illinois charges $114 to make your payment. But y'all say that they don't get nothing out of child support. Okay, I gotta let Denzel speak it again. There's gonna be quite a bit of Malcolm X speaking on this because y'all stupid motherfuckers try to make any excuse to justify these baby mama terrorist behaviors, these societies, these fake ass black pros and slow taps and everything else. I'm gonna let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
You out carrying ass feminists and all the rest of y'all motherfuckers sit back and talking about child support for the kids and all that ain't never about the kids. Why you think these baby mama tells allowed to take that money and spend on their hair, spend on some other nigga, spend on a car, that luxury ass car and shit, and spend on their shoes and shit? Because that's their bonus. That's their incentive to bring that man in court and set him up a failure. That's why they could just say he did a great move, he ain't shit, and they say, yeah, I agree, guilty.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
That's for all you baby mama tears and male feminists and sympathy forces who come to me talking about, nah, it ain't like that. Shut your goddamn ass up. Let's continue to finish this shit off.
Anything other than that, you are stealing a child from a biological parent, and it's state sanctioned.
They don't give a fuck.
Now, the Senate version of this bill is up for a vote on the Senate floor tomorrow. Representative Parkinson's version of the bill is moving on to the Civil Justice Committee and will be up for a vote March 23rd. Reporting live in Memphis, Bria Bolden, Action News 5.
Russian.
This dude said.
Hi, I'm Dr. Catherine Sneed. Welcome to.
This dude said they wasn't gonna they was gonna lose $51 million. Now, if y'all don't understand why the laws won't change, why they won't just go ahead and make equality for men and women, why they won't let the father be involved, if that don't answer your motherfucking question, then I don't know what it is, fam. It is what it is. So if y'all want to keep falling for that, child support is the best thing and it's for the right reason, and Title 4D don't exist and all that shit, that's on you dumbass. That's your dumbass. Shout out to XL Pro for the $5 donation, Cash App. He says, dirty game against men, 100%. This is why I tell y'all over and over and over, the majority is not going to side with you men. The majority will go against you. The majority will use the shame tactics to shut your mouth. Because how dare you, I'll let the bitch say it. What'd you say, bitch? How you go, bitch?
How dare you do this to me?
See, that's why I say it's very important to put this shit out here on these baby mama tests unjust ass system, because our future don't need to go through this bullshit. Our future do not need to go through no paternity fraud or a baby mama test who's mad because of a failed relationship, still talking at the job, talking about he ain't this, he ain't that, and I ain't talked to your funky ass in years. You can't make this shit up. Shit. That's funny as fuck. That's why I tell y'all, keep y'all veins cold, wash your hands, move on if need be, pay your child support, and live your life to the fullest and go down a whole nother road and cut these whole ass sympathy forces off because of shit like this. Change the laws in your mind, man, because the laws ain't going to change for you. Even though they talking about trying to change this, what they say, well, on the back end, if you behind your child support, you could lose custody. So is it really about the children? I'm behind because I'm sick. I'm behind because I lost my job. I got laid off because of COVID. But you could take my motherfucking parenting rights because I'm behind on my child support, and the judges make that executive decision because it's for the best interest of the kid that you don't be involved. Every other weekend, even though you live 20 minutes away, it's for the best interest of the children. But y'all motherfuckers tell me that, oh, it ain't like that. You should have fought harder. So yes, we're going to watch a couple of clips and let y'all know this is fair use. We're going to talk about fathers who's paying child support for children that's not theirs. The one we're going to talk about mainly on here is the one in Michigan. I talked about it last year, but we're going to talk about it again. This motherfucker put him on child support all because she wanted to get that welfare. He was locked up. They weren't even having sex. And guess what? They put him on child support. Y'all seen this on Facebook. It was on Instagram. I posted. We're going to talk about this. And then I'm going to show y'all some white dudes, you know, the rural areas on white dude getting screwed by this system paying for a kid. That ain't his. Fair use, y'all. This is fair use. It's for educational purposes only and criticizing these baby mama terrorists and these simple forces who run the government.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in a post office box because I don't want people to bother me anymore.
These baby mama terrorists always saying that there's no good men around. But wait, haven't these baby mama terrorists been having primary custody for our boys for over 30 years? The fuck do I know? Deadbeat. King shit. Yeah. Now what y'all see right here, this ain't about the father this not about the father that paying child support for a child that ain't here. I want you to see the rural people who are being screwed because it's by its ass system when it comes to child support. Yeah, that was a commercial. It's in the the videos. You check it out. But yeah, that's what I say. Y'all say, you know, ain't no real men out here. And that's what I say. Who been having custody of y'all boys for the last 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years? You motherfuckers. So that's why. Let's check this out.
Just hearing the words child support sparks an emotional response in just about anyone. Fathers who feel like the rules are more about the paycheck than the parenting. Moms who say they can't live on what they have.
In general, I think that the perception is that it's unfairly biased towards men in the state of Massachusetts.
I think that the formula used is fair. The law is reasonable. People have a responsibility to support their children.
I bring home 1,000.
I want you to hear what that Al Karen feminist had to say. I want you to hear it again, how these motherfuckers say it's so fair. AR asks, is that the superstar in Elle magazine, J22? Who you talking about? Shout out to the Layla show for the $10 donation. I appreciate you, my sister. I'm glad you in here because Layla didn't go through that situation. When she went through a divorce, she said that they made agreement. It was done. It's done. She never been around nobody that went through the system like this. I hope you've been watching this since I've been on. If not, you can check out, you know, white men who say the system is rigged, the system is unfair, and you know, understand that it's a man's situation. Yeah. So definitely check this out.
Said it's unfairly biased towards men in the state of Massachusetts.
I think that the formula used is fair. The law is reasonable. People have a responsibility to support their children.
I bring home $1,626 a week and $350 go to child support.
Brian Ayer says $18,000 a year in child support for his infant son is too steep. At 29 years old, he says he had to move back in with his parents. He sees his son every other weekend and a couple of nights a week.
When I have my son, I still need to provide clothing for him. I still need to provide a crib. I need to provide food, diapers, whatever his necessities are when he's with his mother.
I went back to live with my parents. I had to, from a cost standpoint, until I could afford to live in a decent place. And then you feel kind of like a second-class citizen because your kids are coming to a small place after being at, you know, mom's nice house. And
John Gagnon has been paying alimony and writing out child support checks for 11 years. He now pays $2,700 a month for his teenage daughter. He says she stays with him nearly half the time, and his 19-year-old son lived with him full-time before going off to college this fall.
You heard what he said? Or what the lady said? He pays $2,700. And he get his son or his daughter half the time, and then the other one was living with him, and he's still paying $2,700 a month. Now I can't say if he went back and tried to fight it for custody, whatever. I can't say that. I don't know, but guess what? He said he had to move back with his parents, and he looked like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers can get screwed by a baby mama terrorist and family court. The first one, he said he had to go back and live with his mama. I think he said he paid $300 a week. And these the ones that's in rural areas. $2,700. $2,700. See, that's what I'm saying. So when everybody tries to say, oh, it's just black men complaining and whining, man, white men been complaining. If you want to call it complaining and whining, they've been complaining and whining for like, 80 years? For a very long time. For a very long time. And I don't see that's crying and complaining. It's calling the bullshit out. But when these Me Too fake motherfuckers come out and they want to cry and holler great and want to get $20 million, then all of a sudden you get caught in your lie. It's swept under the rug. And this is old. This clip is old. This old. This years ago. This should be going on for a long fucking time. But let's continue.
He feels the guidelines don't take into account how much time he spends with his kids.
It really didn't matter from a child support guideline standpoint if they had stayed one night a month or 0 nights. I would have paid the same then that I paid for 13 nights, having them 13 nights.
When it comes to paying child
Hey, shout out to Jerome. He said, but let KS tell it. It's Pookies and Ray Rays that end up like this. If he said that, then he a motherfucking lie. If he said that, he a lie. Because even he was on child support. Tommy Sotomayor on child support. Angry Man was on child support. Dennis Sperling is on child support. There's so many men who on child support come from different backgrounds, different lifestyles, different pay grades and everything else. And I'm going to tell y'all again, y'all better stop listening to these motherfuckers that's just telling you it's just some motherfucker in the hood. It don't matter about your background. It don't matter about your color. It don't matter if you a high value or a low value. It don't make a difference. You're educated, non-educated. You're a doctor. You're a lawyer. You're a doctor. You're a motherfucking Army veteran. They don't give a fuck about your color. This is why I tell y'all all the time that, yeah, black people got the problem. Black men, we get screwed and all that shit, and we at a high rate. But the ones who get screwed the most is the white man. Them the niggas of child support. And not only that, they commit the most suicide. Then Indians, they number 2 in the United States, commit the most suicide based off alienation and child support. So it ain't no quote unquote Pookies and Ray. And I'm gonna tell y'all again, the definition of a Pookie, far as I'm concerned, is the movie New Jack City when this dude smoking dope and smoking crack and he ain't got shit going on. That's a Pookie. Like I said, y'all motherfuckers better stop listening to false advertising. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I don't care who the fuck it is. So when it comes to child support, it don't matter where you from. It don't matter how much. This dude's paying $50 a month because they don't do shit. They ain't got shit. They paying that bitch $50 a month. She called him broke, but yet you got pregnant by this broke motherfucker. So you knew you was dealing with a broke ass nigga from the get-go. So you could miss me with that bullshit. Shout out to Perfect Blackness for the $5 donation. They said Mr. Palmer Cass didn't say anything like that. Jerome was wrong. Okay, well, I'm just saying. Shout out to you. I'm just saying. If he said it or anybody said it, you know what I'm saying? If anybody said that shit, they're a goddamn lie. If anybody said that shit, if my brother or my daddy would say some shit like that, they're a goddamn lie. Because to be honest with you, if you got a lot of money and you get married after a couple of years or 10 years, 9 out of 10, that bitch gonna divorce your ass anyway and get half your shit. So that's not a Pookie or a Ray Ray. That ain't no dude in the hood. Motherfuckers paying $40,000 a month and shit like that. Come on, man. So now, it don't matter what the fuck you where you from. That's a fucking lie. Don't ever believe that shit. Don't ever believe no sucker shit like that. That's why I laugh. I be hearing some white dudes talking about, yeah, you black men don't want to take care of your kids. You know, the white supremacists. You black dudes don't want to take care of your kids. Bitch, y'all the one suffering more than us, motherfucker. Fuck you talking about. That's why I laugh. I don't even take that seriously. I don't get in my feelings because I laugh like shit. Y'all the most destroyed motherfuckers in the system. Shit. I don't know who been talking to you. You've been talking to the right clan. The wrong clan member because even the clan member get screwed. Shit, they don't give a fuck. So, but whatever. Let's continue. Fuck out of here.
Support, things used to be different in Massachusetts. 1987 is when the first guidelines came out. Judges had non-custodial parents pay a percentage of their income to the custodial parent. They adjusted for the custodial parent's income, but only after the first $20,000. In 2009, that all changed when a 12-member task force overhauled the state's child support guidelines. Then that task force traveled the state to educate judges. Now, using a worksheet, incomes from both parents are added together and worked into a formula. Judges also weigh how many children are involved. And
for those who didn't understand it, with the first part about the $20,000 income, and they adjusted when it's over 20,000. Back in the day, I think most states are doing it now. Back in the day, if she put you on child support, they didn't give a fuck about what she made. They didn't go off both incomes. It was just, okay, you pay 20% or 17%. It's one or the other. You know what I'm saying? A lot of states, even Illinois, they just passed that in 17 where they go off both incomes. So in this day and age, in most states, it's not just what the man pays. I mean, what the man gets per year and all that shit. So now, as you see, this is Massachusetts. Massachusetts is an expensive place to live too, and they get screwed too by this system. He living with their parents and shit, and that's a expensive place too. Now they talking about the both incomes and shit, but again, if she makes $20,000 a year, or she don't work at all because she's a housewife, you making $150,000, $200,000 a year, or hell, you making $40,000, you gonna pay a nice boat. And if you're married to the motherfucker, y'all go through divorce, you're gonna pay some type of maintenance and alimony and shit like that for a certain amount of years. It could be a lifetime, depending on the situation. You know what I mean? So that's why I say when it comes to the husband, they get screwed worse than the unmarried man. Not telling y'all to be unwedded and have kids. I say don't do none of that shit. But if you get married, you can get screwed more because you the breadwinner, you the lead, you take care of the whole house. She go after 10 years and get some motherfucking spousal support or alimony. So you definitely have to have your ducks lined up and have your T's crossed, your I's dotted in this day and age, because it's a benefit for them because they don't want to lose that money. But let's continue.
required expenses. In Massachusetts, that means mandated health insurance, child care, and housing costs. The guidelines also called for changing language. You won't hear the words custody or visitation any longer. Instead, it's parenting time. All of this meant to make the system fair for both parents.
We want kids to
Wait a
be
minute. Now I want you to hear. She said they did parent time to make it fair for both parents. How the fuck is it fair for both parents if the father's getting every other weekend, but he's qualified to get equal parenting time because he live in the same county, he live in the same city, his job won't interfere getting him. You know, how does that make it fair for both parents? I want y'all to hear this shit. Because motherfuckers will tell you that it's you that don't want to be a father. You a deadbeat. Your own kids who manipulated ass will say you didn't fight hard enough. I have heard women who said, my dad ain't shit. Why he wasn't shit? He didn't fight hard enough. I said, he didn't fight at all? Yeah, he did fight, but he didn't fight hard enough. I said, so fuck your mama alienating you out the picture and trying to keep him away. You blame him because he didn't fight hard enough. Ain't that a bitch? Anything to take up for a baby mama terrorist. But I want you to hear a little part again. They doing the parenting time because they want to be fair to both parties. And y'all seen the Title 4D. Y'all been in your own situation. You saw it wasn't fair. And I told y'all in the rural areas, it's not meant to be fair because they don't want to lose that. In Tennessee, $52 million. But as like I said, in the United States, $51 billion business. Let's continue. Yeah, Massachusetts. That is definitely expensive. That's why I have no problem if Donald Trump run for re-election. I will be voting for that nigga. He got my vote for the third fucking time, and I'm proud. I ain't got no issues with it. I will be voting for him. That's the closest we're gonna get to some type of man change because he's definitely anti-feminist. Yeah, see, he ain't with that Me Too ass shit and tickle their chin and all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. So that's how I look at that. Let's continue.
Judges also weigh how many children are involved and required expenses. In Massachusetts, that means mandated health insurance, child care, and housing costs. The guidelines also called for changing language. You won't hear the words custody or visitation any longer. Instead, it's parenting time. All of this meant to make the system fair for both parents.
We want kids to be well supported. We want kids to have enough support, but we don't want to create this huge windfall prize that creates conflict between the parents.
Dr. Ned Holstein is the founder of the fathers' rights group, Fathers and Families. He sat on the task force and says the system is still unfair. For instance, he says some states prorate support according to parenting time spent with the child. He also says judges in Massachusetts may order both child support and college expenses until age 23.
We have a long way to go, but I think some of the worst thing is that there is a pervasive gender bias in family court. Men are still looked at as breadwinners and women are still looked at as nurturers of children.
Nothing could be further from the truth. We have 24 female judges on the probate court and we have 24 male judges on the probate court. And to suggest that everyone has grouped together and is biased against the fathers, it simply doesn't happen.
I want you to hear this feminist out Karen Bay Mama terrorist tell you that how can you say that it's gender bias? And they try to use that it's 20 women over here as judges and we got 20 men over here as judges. They're not working together, blah, blah, blah. He don't know what he's talking about. And I'm going to tell y'all again, I said it once and I said it twice. A lot of you people say, hey, the white police officers are racist, they Klan, they white supremacists. And then a lot of you others say the black ones ain't no better either. The Hispanic ones ain't no better either. They all bleed blue, right? And I tend to agree with that. They all bleed blue. But when it comes to the judges, because it's some men sitting up there, so-called men, it's fair. They all bleed green. They all bleed green because they all get paid. They get a incentive, they get a bonus, they keep their seats and everything. They are not going to give you fathers equal parent time or custody 9 times out of 10. I'm going to let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. They try to justify with these bullshit. Oh, we got men on here just as much as women. They all work together. They all do the same shit. Shout out to my brother. He said that 52 million is just a federal match, not everything else they get. So the 52 million is federal match. They also get a percentage of what's collected. So the federal government get a piece of the action too. A lot of y'all be schooling me on a lot of things, and I definitely call it out, let y'all know. Shout out to my brother. I didn't know that. I didn't know the federal get a piece of the action. I thought it was just a state and they just give them a incentive, but he said the 50, that's what we're talking about the Tennessee, which they all do it. It's federal match, and they also get a percentage of what's collected. You can't make this shit up. And as far as let me explain something about Jeffrey Levine or Levine, that's in Chicago. When he first came out, he was a hard hitter when it came to fathers' rights. He was definitely for fathers' rights movement, but now it's only about the dollar amount. As far as I'm concerned, because I got too many brothers that said they spent $70,000, $100,000, and they still didn't get. They still didn't get what they wanted. They stretch the shit out. They charge you. You got to put down $4,000 and all that shit. You know. So it ain't what you think. Yeah, he got a name. He got a reputation. And people say go to him, but it ain't what you think. It's about the dollar now. Miguel said, I told you, Palmer Federal gets 30%. Game of Lives Matter said federal and state get a piece of the pie. Well, we know the state get it. I didn't know the federal, so y'all schooled me on that. So, well, okay, on that note, on that note, I'm glad you said it. And my man texted me. Shout out to you. I'm glad y'all said it because now I'm going to prove my point, what I said earlier. You telling me that when you try to go to the Supreme Court, they're going to go ahead and just let you go ahead and get rid of your child support if they can avoid it by one little error or mistake or a way to go around it? When dudes come with these videos telling you, yeah, this is how you get out of child support, go to the Supreme Court, shit like that. If we all knew that game, those things, most of us would be out of that shit. That's what I say. They might have that 1 or 2 people per year to get out the crack, and they say, fuck it, let them go. So now I'm learning that federal government get 30% of the shit. So you telling me that this system is not rigged. I got to let Denzel speak for Malcolm X again.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
I told you, this whole system is a fucking joke. Let's see this Al Karen feminist try to use that it's so many male judges and so many female judges, and it's fair. Why would the man go against the code against other men? Because it's a profit, it's money. It ain't about the best interest of the children. So I told you, white feminists are the white man's downfall, and it continues to be. And it's always gonna be, as far as I'm concerned, our lifetime. So that's why I laugh when somebody say non-color people are alphas and they fathers and they do theirs, they know what they doing and talking about and all that shit. Let's continue. Let's hear that bitch again.
Looked at as breadwinners, and women are still looked at as nurturers of children.
Nothing could be further from the truth. We have 24 female judges on the probate court, and we have 24 male judges on the probate court. And to suggest that everyone has grouped together and is biased against the fathers, it simply doesn't happen.
Attorney Marilyn Ryan also sat in the task force. She says the guidelines are meant to put balance into the system. Since nothing is perfect, she says judges are allowed to deviate from those guidelines.
If you have 2 parents who are each making $500 a week, and they pay the same amount for medical insurance, and there's no other adjustments, and the children principally reside with, let's say, mom, then dad is going to be paying some money to mom for child support. The theory of that being that otherwise mom would be supporting herself and the children.
Do you think these guidelines are fair?
They are extremely fair.
You heard that baby mama tell? She said that Al Karen feminists say it's extremely fair. Ain't nothing wrong with the system. Hey, if they both make $500, it's just you got to give her a little incentive because she had the child. Why not have equal parent time? Why not have that mandatory? Because the state will lose money. Shout out to my boy Shelby NYC for the $5 donation. She says, fighting 2 years temporary child support case in New York. Prayers to you, my brother. She says it's extremely fair. Goddamn well, dude ain't making $500 and she making $500. Most likely he making $500 and she makes $1. That's how that usually go for the most part. Yeah. Right. She said, I'm a white woman. I don't have the men problem. It's extremely fair. Let's continue. Now I want you to hear what this woman got to say.
Crystal Arnhold is a single mom who relies on her child support checks. She says she receives just under $250 a week to raise her 2-year-old son and her 5-year-old daughter with Down syndrome.
I work what I can and I still just barely make it. Like this month alone, I have like $29 to get food for the next 2 weeks.
Crystal works part-time at nights while her mom watches the kids, but money's tight. She says under the new guidelines, she stands to lose more because she's trying to work.
I'm not greedy by any means, and I want to make that perfectly clear. I just try to get for my kids what they need.
Brian says he's working.
So I want you to understand what she's saying. Now, in her situation, she's struggling. She get $1,000 a month, and she's struggling. She lives with her mama. She's still struggling. She work a part-time job. She's still struggling. Now she get $1,000 a month. and she's still struggling. And all I can say behind that is Walmart is always hiring. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is years old. I don't know if Walmart was around then. It might have been. But Walmart is always hiring. And dude is paying $250 a week. So the average person will sit back and say, he broke. He broke. You know, he broke ass and all that shit. Which I think $250 is too much to me. But we don't, you know, they say is, you know, he broke. Okay. When you was fucking him, was he broke? See, that's what I'm saying. These baby mama tails try to call you out, say you broke, dirty, and all that shit. He only paid $50 a month. But when you was fucking with him, he didn't have no money to begin with. Or he was hustling down the street. He didn't work a job making 40, 50, 60 and up. So you knew this shit. So now that y'all ain't together no more, he's broke. That's why I don't feel sorry for you, baby mama terrorists, because most of y'all choose single motherism. And here's the application for you motherfuckers. It was founded in 1962. Oh, okay, then. Yeah, and this could be in the fucking 80s. Walmart was there. So Walmart is always hiring. Both of them broke. So like I said, on this situation, she says she's still struggling, but yes, she worked part-time. So I think you need to change the laws in your mind, ma'am, so you can get yourself in order and quit worrying about depending on a fucking child support check that's going to end when they're 18 or 23 years old. Because in the state of Massachusetts, if you go to college, they go up to 23. You can't make this shit up. You know, rural areas, like they say. Let's continue.
They need.
Ryan says he's working with the court system, but wants to see more changes.
The best interest of this child is to have a loving, caring home in both places where he's provided equally of both residents, not his mother's, not his father's, but equally among both.
He tells us he doesn't see himself leaving his parents' home anytime soon. So he's writing to his lawmakers to try to change what he believes is a system that's still broken. Sharman Sacchetti, Fox 25 News.
Information in a story first exposed about the state ordering a Detroit man to.
Now, this is the one I want to show y'all. Detroit man who was on child support, and he fought for over 10 years. They put him in jail. It's a black woman judge. That motherfucker was trying to hang him up, and a lawyer represented him for free, I believe, because she felt it was wrong. And they steered it. I think he owed like $30,000. I want y'all to take heed to this. Some of y'all seen this on Facebook. That's where it came from years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. As far as it went on YouTube, but this has been going on since the 80s. So check this out.
Paid child support for a kid that everybody agrees isn't his.
As 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell tells us, the court has made him a wanted man until he pays up.
When I exposed this story, I thought someone in front of the court would fix a clear injustice. Instead, a warrant has now been issued for Carnell Alexander's arrest. For him, it's deja vu. In 1991, during a traffic stop, Carnell Alexander got a shock. Police arrested him. His crime? Being a deadbeat dad.
I knew I didn't have a child, so I was kind of blown back.
He told 7 Action News he would later learn this happened because his ex needed help.
I had to turn to welfare to get assistance to take care of them, and I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
That started a paternity.
I want y'all to hear that again. This man got arrested and went to jail because she had to put his name down to get some government daddy assistance. He was not the father. They weren't even fucking. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, it's the guy from Detroit. This happened in 1991. Yeah, 1991. And she wasn't going to show her motherfucking face. She wasn't going to show her face. She admitted to the world that, hey, I had to put his name down. He's not the father. Guess what? Guess what they told him when he said, sir, DNA?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
That's what the judge said. Government daddy says what Reverend X say. You gonna pay that child support. Fuck you, pay me. Yeah, you know, they had her face because she probably told him, if you want me to come on here, I can't show my face. She don't want to embarrass herself, you know, because she's a queen. She's a goddess. She's a martyr. She's Sky Daddy. She's anything but a piece of shit ass, low life, the funky ass baby mama terrorist with a hair hat on with Link. Yeah. So let's hear that again, and I'll continue. Perjury like a motherfucker, but they ain't gonna put her in jail for that. We thank her because without her, we wouldn't have had a nigga name to destroy. Let's continue.
His crime? Being a deadbeat dad.
I knew I didn't have a child, so I was kind of blown back.
He told 7 Action News he would later learn this happened because his ex needed help.
I had to turn to welfare to get assistance to take care of them, and I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
That started a paternity case. A process server then turned in this paper saying Carnell had been notified at a house in Highland Park. So when he didn't show up at court, he was legally listed as dad. The problem? Carnell didn't get notified. He wasn't even at a house in Highland Park. He was in prison for a crime he committed as a young man. And by the time he learned about the paternity case,
So they made up an address, or she made up an address, sent that he was locked up when the shit happened. And yes, when you going through welfare, you don't have to mention the guy name. They try to threaten you and tell you better do it or else they send your ass off. So she did it because he was locked up and she knew it wasn't shit he could do about it. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, let's be real. Stop the cap. The reason why she did it, he was locked up. It was opportunity. He couldn't fight, couldn't look, couldn't say no or nothing. She saw that as opportunity. Let's continue.
judges told him it was too late. Legally, he owes the state more than 30 grand for assistance paid to care for a child.
I did not father.
This dude had to pay, they wanted him to pay $30,000 to a child that wasn't his. Shit. He didn't have, hey, Steven say keep it in your pants. He didn't have sex with her. He was locked up. She just put his name down on the welfare so she could get a check. He didn't have sex with her. So he kept it in his pants, and guess what? He still got screwed. So a bitch can lie and put your name on the birth certificate and everything else and still set you up for failure. Let's continue.
Case, judges told him it was too late. Legally, he owes the state more than 30 grand for assistance paid to care for a child.
I did not father, that I did not biologically create or spend any time with throughout my life. I find that very unfair.
Carnell says he won't pay. He tells me tomorrow he will turn himself in.
I will go to jail if I have to because I'm tired of the situation of the mishandling of the case.
I don't think that's right.
Murray Davis from the National Family Justice Association says there are thousands of men in Carnell Alexander's shoes because Michigan does not have paternity fraud laws that protect men.
Michigan does not recognize paternity fraud in the sense that a person who has been found not to be the father is relieved of those obligations.
And this is why I tell y'all, Michigan is the worst state when it comes to not being a father, and you still got to pay child support anyway because they don't have no law against paternity fraud. Now, I don't know about in 2021. I have to go back and look, but at least a couple of years ago, no, they don't have that. Certain states, some states don't have that. Even if you show you're not the father, don't matter. You still gonna pay. It is what it is. This is why you need to know each state. Like, if you live in Michigan, you need to learn the laws. If you're in Tennessee, you need to learn the laws. If you're gonna move to Texas, you need to learn the laws. Because if not, whatever happened in Tennessee ain't gonna be necessary in Texas, whether it's good or bad. The state, each state is a fucking business, is a company, and they're gonna make you be the slave of it. Legalize extortion. Let's continue.
I did reach out to a friend of the court and was told that they cannot comment on open and active cases. Carnell, in the meantime, plans to go to court and turn himself in tomorrow with his attorney, who hopes to convince a judge to let him go free. We'll let you know what happens. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, Kim, certainly a lot of people watching that.
You saw first on 7 Action News. A man said he was tired of paying child support for a child that was not his, and the courts knew was not his. Now, with this court order, he is one step closer to justice. Carnell Alexander says he got a shock during a traffic stop in the early 1990s. The officer arrested him, telling him he's a deadbeat dad. When he appeared in court, Carnell told the judge he didn't have any children.
It's such an unfair system, period.
Turns out, while he was in prison for a crime he committed as a young man, an ex listed him as father. Notice of the paternity hearing was taken to his old house. When he didn't appear for the hearing he didn't know about, he was made dad by default. He went to court again and again, but could not get the matter resolved.
No one ever listened until I met you.
After we told his story on 7 Action News, an attorney volunteered to take on the case. Cherica Harris says she did so because she's outraged by how the system treated Carnell Alexander.
We declare him a deadbeat. We take his money, we garnish his wages, we take away his abilities to earn a living. That's an illegal taking. That's a violation of his constitutional rights.
Attorney Harris is preparing to appear before a federal judge and argue that Alexander deserves to sue the state and Wayne County for violating his civil rights. She says the case is important to protect others. It is only as her suit has moved forward that Wayne County dismissed the child support case against her client. Carnell got official notice 2 days ago that after a 26-year-long fight, he doesn't owe child support for a child that is not his.
The judge has finally agreed with me that this shouldn't have been done.
I feel very happy that the debt has been lifted, but I'm still hurt by what I've been through over 26 years.
His attorney will be in federal court tomorrow, asking a judge to allow him to seek justice for the violation of his civil rights. We'll let you know what happens.
I could tell y'all what happened. I think it was 2020 or 19. They finally threw it out, not because he proved his point, but it was something they got tired of doing it or whatever. They just threw it out. He did not get no lawsuit, at least from what I know on that part. But he dealt with this for years, since 1991. And to this day, that baby mama Tez ain't get no repercussion, no charges, no jail time, or even get arrested. You can't make this shit up. You just can't.
Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
I think a lot of people are waiting to see how that one will play out. Now,
Wild and unbelievable stories here in Detroit.
this is one of them.
This is one of them. Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his, a child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him, except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
I want you to see this baby mama Terry's judge. This judge been giving him headaches for years. Been giving him headaches, saying he's the father, he's gonna pay anyway, and she had him locked up and all this shit. Same motherfucker. So when that Al Karen say, we got 10 judges over here, 10 female judges and 10 male judges, or we got 10 black judges and 10 white judges, it's fair. Don't fall for that shit. They all bleed green. And yes, if it weren't for the media, he wouldn't have got that attention. He would have been locked up if he wouldn't have got this attention. Then he got a lawyer to say, I'll do it for free, volunteered. So, you know, but unfortunately, this system fought him for years trying to dismiss this $30,000 business that he owed for a kid that ain't his. Let's continue.
But this time he had attorney Cherica Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris.
I want you to hear that again. He will not go to jail for today. Meaning, excuse me, meaning you got me for the moment because of the media, but I got you later on because we're going to find a way to lock your ass up. You know, you black queens and goddess and Mother Earths and shit like that. It's just a white man that do the bullshit. Yeah, okay. Let's continue.
I hope that we can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future.
Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
Now,
I'm almost homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work. My money is being threatened to be taken.
Carnell isn't just worried about how this is impacting him. He says the law needs to be changed. So when this happens, as it often does, other men don't become dad by default.
We can be defaulted into being a father of a child that is not ours. I don't understand that law, but it is a law in place.
In Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Yeah, you would think that mother would have to pay that money back instead of him, who's not the father's child.
Oh,
it is.
They're not gonna let no woman go through the bullshit. Why would they do that? Nah, they're not gonna do that. But we're gonna go to an intermission right quick. I'm gonna let my man Reverend Next, fuck with y'all for the moment. I'll be right back. You can't make this shit up though.
You know I need my money. And you girl, should just ride with me. Let's go along together. We'll be happy collecting back my money.
Let's hit them donations,
yeah.
y'all.
Cynthia. Would you want to give God a piece of your mind too? Men come fucking poop. Is Cynthia on the phone? You want to speak to your daddy?
You ain't my daddy.
Huh?
What you talking about?
But I am. Do you know your daddy?
What's wrong with you?
Huh? What's wrong with you? I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit. What's your trip? I told you what I'm going through. The fuck your problem?
You need to watch your damn language.
Bitch, I'm God.
You ain't God.
How the fuck you tell me to watch my language? Ain't no fucking child. Bitch, get off the phone. Go tell your children watch their fucking language. Go teach your children. Dumb shithead bitch. I ain't mad at you, but I'm serious as a motherfucker. Fuck that, I got that Glock back. Tell you, what you need to express is your mind to the Lord.
I just want to ask you, why do you think you are God?
I don't think I'm God. I ain't saying I think I believe. I know, and if you study the words, you study my book, you will know I'm me too.
You didn't create the heaven and the earth, baby.
But I did. I'm that motherfucker. You know me, don't you?
Hell no, I don't want you.
You don't know me? That's shame on your goddamn ass then. Shit, I'm the motherfucker. Give a fuck what you believe in. Believe in you some goddamn Ku Klux Klan members, don't you? What's happening?
Which one you are?
Motherfucker, the book I got in my hand. You don't know him? You don't know him? You don't know? Look like the yellow pages. You killing me. Next caller. Like I said, I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit. I ain't playing with your ass. Don't call up and play with me.
And I just want to know, where did you come from?
I'm from the kingdom of heaven. I walk in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
But why so much personal stuff? I believe in God.
Motherfucker, because I'm God.
Listen, motherfucker, hold on. Hello?
Why you cursing, bitch?
Oh, wait, she didn't mean to curse. Let me ask you a question. How come when you read it, you act like you have a hard time reading?
Because I'm God, bitch.
Wait,
why you asking stupid ass questions?
Real before?
I said I'm opening this book to us.
Are you in before?
I said I'm opening this book to inflict all governmental. I told you I'm opening this book to inflict all governmental agencies, all governmental systems, to get it right, to stop all the corruption, to help the poor, the fatherless, and widows. Don't ask me no stupid ass questions, you ignorant slut.
What type of shit is you on?
Okay, that put me low. What that do? You put me low? I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
It's not just some charm or something.
I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit. I ain't on with you all.
That's what's wrong with your ass. You want that shit. You want that shit, nigga.
Bitch, it ain't what you're thinking. It ain't a damn thing about what you're thinking. Fuck your thoughts. Fuck what you thinking. You ain't God, stupid asshole. Ignorant slut, hide out on TV. I'm on the air doing God's will. What the fuck you doing for God? You slaying that pussy, but it ain't for God, huh, bitch? And house nigga, bitch made ass, ninkum fucking poop, monkey-minded, Afrocentric motherfuckers. You won't call me and tell me your opinion, but if you call in and you see I'm doing something wrong, you love Jesus. Don't you love me enough to give me the correct route?
Yeah. Shout out to the baby mama Terrence Bounty Hunters, and shout out to Reverend X. Shout out to David for the 499. He say Couch Gang, Couch Gang. Yeah, man. So I want y'all to check this one out, man. This is gonna be the rural area. You know, the rural area. I believe this one with the rural area. Let's make sure. Actually, before we get to the rural area, it's another brother who was screwed by this unjust system. Let's talk about it.
Now to attend News Channel 3, getting to the bottom of a burning question one Memphis man has been trying to answer for years. Why is Shelby County Juvenile Court forcing him to pay for a child that is not biologically his? What's even more unusual, he says the judges at Juvenile Court have an idea who the real father is.
Yet they're still demanding he pay up. Now he's turning to On Your Side investigator Stephanie Skurlock for help.
So even though the judges, the baby mama Terrence, they know who the father is, but guess what? They still want him to pay it. He must make more money. He must be more beneficial. Shout out to BG Wavy for the $1.99. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's find out. I believe this is in Tennessee as well.
Talk show TV makes millions off the catchphrase, "You are not the father." But the reality in Memphis is just because you're not the daddy doesn't mean Shelby County Juvenile Court won't make you pay.
I was down there in handcuffs and chains.
Over the years, Edward Bowdery had his driver's license stripped and once even found himself in handcuffs over child support payments for a child that's not his.
I would hate to see somebody else go through the same thing. I've been going through this. I mean, headaches.
This mound of paperwork shows a juvenile court judge ordered him to pay child support even before the birth.
I didn't do a voluntary acknowledgement. I didn't sign the birth certificate. All I knew is we legitimated the child in your name.
Bowdery asked several judges during several hearings for a DNA test, but no judge ordered one.
I said, how did I get put on child support? And I never said this was my child. And they said, again, this is not what we're here for.
In 2009, he took the child himself to get it.
You heard what he said? He asked the judge, basically, why you doing me like this? I ain't the father. Judge said, we ain't here for all that. Child support. Let's finish in with this brother saying, because like he said, he took the child to do the DNA on his own.
In 2009, he took the child himself to get a DNA test and found the son he'd supported for years was not biologically his. He took the documentation to court. The judge wouldn't accept it, but ordered a new DNA test done that showed the same results. Probability of paternity, 0%.
They never did do what they were originally supposed to do, which was give me the opportunity to take a DNA test. I was just a voice not being heard. So I guess I needed a choir.
Juvenile court magistrate Nancy Kessler agreed in October to allow Bowdery to disestablish paternity, but only after, he says, she admonished him for taking it this far.
The judge stated that.
I want y'all to hear it again. The only reason why they threw it out, because he had the media get involved and he called the shit out. He put out there on Front Street. This is why I tell y'all men and even some women, it's very important to spread awareness and call this shit out. Whether if it's Ellen Nation, whether if it's the court system, baby mama terrorism, manipulated child, false allegations, it must be out here. The only reason why that judge discontinued the child support was because the media was getting involved and it was getting big and it wasn't looking good for government daddy. Let's say that again. But also, he ain't getting no refunds though. He been paying for years. Well, let's continue.
October to allow Bowery to disestablish paternity, but only after he says she admonished him for taking it this far.
The judge stated that, well, I find it very distasteful that you're bastardizing a child.
The judge stopped the child support going forward, but Bowery still has to pay $460 a month to the mother in back pay. He doesn't believe he should have to pay anything. In fact, he believes someone owes him money, the $30,000 he's already paid.
Administrators at juvenile court denied our request for an interview on this case, saying it's not appropriate to comment about rulings. What are the chances of him getting its money back?
It is very unusual and very infrequent.
Family lawyer Miles Mason says in a similar case, the Tennessee Supreme Court ruled a man in Middle Tennessee could sue his ex-wife for fraud. He got a $100,000 judgment.
There was a very large judgment awarded against the mother, but I doubt it would be likely that they would be able to collect in most cases.
This bill is simple. That
now, what he said, yeah, you can file a lawsuit, but he said in most cases, you're not gonna get it, especially when you're dealing with a broke baby mama terrorist. But look like whoever this was got back or getting $100,000. Now that's probably how much he paid. He probably spent about $50,000. He wanted extra. But let's continue. Civil matter.
The Tennessee Supreme Court ruled a man in Middle Tennessee could sue his ex-wife for fraud. He got a $100,000 judgment.
There was a very large judgment awarded against the mother, but I doubt it would be likely that they would be able to collect in most cases.
this bill is simple. That a person who is proven not to be the biological father.
State Representative G.A. Hardaway says he's heard from a number of fathers in his district who were like Bowery. He introduced a bill letting them file civil lawsuits against the biological fathers, but it never made it out of committee.
To a degree, justice needs to be served. I think it needs to be a totally...
You already said he tried to pass a law where you can sue civilly, but they didn't pass it. It's just sitting. Just like I told y'all with the equal parenting time and mandatory equal parenting time in Illinois, that it's just sitting on the table. It's sitting on the table over 5 years. They ain't gonna pass that because they don't want these baby mama terrorists to get sued. Not at all. That's what I'm telling you. But y'all say the system is fair, it's for what's right and all that shit. But whatever you say, fam, let's continue.
Be different, a new law or something.
The question many people might ask, why is Bowery still paying back pay to the child's mother? Well,
and he's still paying back child support. So the only thing they did, they stopped the child support, but he's still paying back child support. Like a lot of y'all, there's some fathers in here that got custody of their children or they got equal parenting. But guess what? They still got to pay the fucking rich. Because they're going to make sure they're going to get something. Let's continue.
we're told by law the new judge he's dealing with can't undo another judge's ruling. For the On Your Side investigators, Stephanie Skurlock, WREG News Channel.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Don't believe that. They can do whatever the fuck they want to. Stop lying. And when these baby mama terrorists tell you that they can't go there and take off child support and take the ridge off and all that, that's a lie too. They got the power to go in there and say, I don't want him paying my arrears no more. I want to dismiss the whole arrears. Don't believe none of that bullshit they talking about. They want that money.
Channel 3.
Family lawyers say if you're not married, get a court order declaring that you're the father. And as part of that order, get a DNA test. Don't wait. If you wait, you can wake up owing $10 before you know it.
Let her get the man she laid down with to pay for him. He goes free. I never even slept with her.
It's happening to men across Michigan. They are being forced to pay child support as dads by default.
Doesn't matter. If the men can prove the children are not theirs, Michigan law makes them pay anyway.
But tonight, 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell tells us that may be about to change.
Most people think you either have to adopt or conceive a baby to become legally responsible for a child. Under Michigan law, that is simply not how it works.
I was the father by default.
These 4 men came to the 7 Action News studios to raise awareness. You could become dad by default. There are a couple ways it happens. Pastor Edward Mack says his previous wife had 3 children. He left them as his own. Then he realized 2 of them were not biologically his.
You must have been so heartbroken.
Damn, it was a hurting thing. I don't even really want to talk about it because it brings tears to my eyes. Sorry for getting teary-eyed.
Pastor Mack says the betrayal led to divorce. He was shocked when the judge told him because he was married, he became dad by default. He had to pay support for another man's children.
Let her pay for him. Let her get the man she laid down with to pay for him. He goes free.
I never even slept with her. I got a lawsuit when I was young, and she basically just said, that's the money I'm going to get. And she got it.
Reginald Whitlow, Anthony Sims, and Carnell Alexander have similar stories. They say women named them out of nowhere. In 2014, 7 Action News told Carnell's story and found the mother. She said she was told in order to get welfare benefits, she needed to name a father. She knew he wasn't the dad, but wrote down his name anyway.
Everything is my fault that I put him through.
Do you think that he should have to pay this money?
No, he shouldn't have to pay it at all.
Then these men missed paternity hearings because they were either sick or did not receive notice. Carnell had proof.
She say he shouldn't have to pay it back, but at the same time, you should not put his motherfucking name on the goddamn paperwork. You should pay for it, but whatever.
He was in prison when a process server claimed he was served at a house in Highland Park. When they didn't show up at court, a judge ruled them dads by default. They then missed their chance to challenge it with DNA evidence by the court deadline because they couldn't find the women and children.
They wouldn't give me her address because it was confidential.
These men all eventually got DNA tests backing their stories. Too late.
Oftentimes, it doesn't make a difference.
Representative Jim Runstead says those DNA tests should make a difference. The Republican from White Lake says he heard the story of Carnell Alexander on 7 Action News and decided to take action. He says this year, he hopes to pass legislation that would protect men from being forced to pay for another man's children. Plus, women and process servers who lie should face stiff legal consequences.
This was wrong. Deceiving and lying and obligating people who are not supposed to be obligated to pay bills is wrong.
These men don't just want the law changed to protect others. They want compensation.
I'm getting garnished. I'm getting thrown in jail. I'm getting felony charges.
You have taken our lives.
Change that law.
Representative Runstead says he has written 5 draft bills that aim to prevent such fraud, protecting both men and children. He says he plans to introduce them within the next month. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
When a divorced dad was ordered to pay.
Now I want to definitely talk about this situation because you saw a bunch of black dudes, you saw the one white dude, you saw the white folks earlier. I want y'all to check this out. This dude was married and he's not the father, and guess what? He got to pay child support as well. It's not just Michigan. I know Michigan is the king of it. That's why I say Michigan top 5 worst family court. But we're gonna talk about this situation. Shout out to Mr. Dukes all the way from the UK. Shout out to you for the $2 donation. He said child support is a choice they choose, like abortion. 100% facts. These baby mama tell us choose this shit. Let's continue though. Let's talk about Mr. White Man. The rural areas.
Child support for a child who isn't his. He turned to our Target 8 investigators for help. We uncovered it's perfectly legal for the state to order him to pay support for another man's child and to deny biological fathers who want to pay from doing so. Target 8's Heather Walker exposes a law that's being called outrageous.
What's going on, buddy?
Joseph Shamilar is a divorced dad of 2. Not even 9 months after the split, Joe got some shocking news from his boys.
And they got in the car and they were bouncing up and down, telling me that mom has a new baby. And I said, well, is she babysitting? Is she, is she looking after someone?
So you didn't think it was real?
No, I had no idea.
His ex-wife had given birth. She had gotten pregnant during their separation by another man.
See what I mean? They don't never show these baby mama tears face. They show the kids, but they don't show the mama. They'll show the kids, but they never show the mama. They never show the mama. They don't matter if they Al Karens, Al Quishas, Al Wallace Nishas, Al Señoritas, Al Zang, and the rest of the gang. They do not show their face because they didn't do nothing wrong. All they did was look out for government daddy. Let's continue. Mind you, they was separated. They had 2 kids. She got pregnant by somebody else. Y'all ain't heard shit yet. So far you just hearing that he's the father. But check this out.
Legally, she was still married to Joe. Court papers clearly acknowledge the baby is not Joe's, but Albert Bush's, and that Bush had established a personal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The court ordered medical expenses be split between the biological parents. But the Friday before...
So check this out. I want y'all to hear that again for you dummies in the back. Now, Albert Bush is the actual father. He wants to be a father. He's willing to pay child support. He's willing to be there. But guess what? They say, nah, we're going to let the father handle that. And the baby mama Tez don't have no problem with it. She rather let the husband that she's separated from take care of the financial responsibility. You can't make this shit up. Let's hear it again.
Albert Bush's, and that Bush had established a personal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The court ordered medical expenses be split between the biological parents. But the Friday before Father's Day, Joe got a letter in the mail from friend of the court.
I thought, my God, this is hilarious. It's Father's Day weekend, and here's the biggest joke that I think I've ever had played on me transpiring right now.
The letter said,
so the baby mama terrorist made sure he got that letter by Father's Day or Father's Day weekend. So best believe she did it on purpose. And how much you want to bet he had his children at that time? You can't make this shit up. Shout out to Black Yankee for the $20 donation. He said someone in Westchester County, New York, court fudged paperwork for my baby mama test for errors, rearage, and the judge didn't even request it. And even when it was brought up in court, it shocked the magistrate and even couldn't even undo it. Ain't that a bitch? The fuck out of here. They gonna do whatever the fuck they want to. He made a choice not to do it. He might didn't do it, but he say shit. It is what it is, fam. I know how that went. You can't make this shit up. So look, to this 2009. This ain't nothing recent. Let's hear it.
I thought, my God, this is hilarious. It's Father's Day weekend, and here's the biggest joke that I think I've ever had played on me transpiring right now.
The letter said he owed $8,500 in back child support plus medical expenses for a baby his ex-wife had with another man. So the court was asking you to pay for a child that's not yours.
Exactly.
I went to Ottawa County friend of the court office to get answers. How is this legal? Their spokesperson agreed to do an on-camera interview, but on the scheduled day changed his mind and would only answer our questions over the phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child. In other words, which one can take best care of the child financially. The court decided that was Joe. Do you think this law needs to...
And on that note, I'm going to let Denzel Washington speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
I want y'all to hear this again for you dumb motherfuckers in the back that say this system is the best thing. It's about right and wrong. It's about the children. It's the best interest of the kids. It ain't about what you talking about. You just a hater. See, your mama black and you dumb and you don't know shit and you just jealous. You a hater because I make more money than you ass nigga. Yep. Biatch. Let's hear it again.
Pay for a child that's not yours.
Exactly.
I went to Ottawa County friend of the court office to get answers. How is this legal? Their spokesperson agreed to do an on-camera interview, but on the scheduled day changed his mind and would only answer our questions over the phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child.
No, it's the best interest of government daddy. So evidently this husband made more money than the boyfriend, so it was more lucrative for him to pay the motherfucker. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. So if you're gonna get separated, y'all, make sure you legally separated. Make sure you legally separated on paper and everything. It does not matter if he's the biological father or not, because we need that money. And they bullshit ass line is for the best interest of the children or the child. Fuck out of here. Let's continue.
In other words, which one can take best care of the child financially? The court decided that was Joe.
Do you think this law needs to be changed in any way?
We went straight to the man who tried to fix the law, Senator Rick Jones.
I certainly would agree that if you're married to someone, they then run off and have a child by another man, that you should not have to pay child support. That seems a bit outrageous.
The original law was written back in 1956. It said if a child is born to a married woman, the biological dad has no legal rights. Last year, it was updated to allow husbands like Joe to fight financial responsibility.
What's the biggest problem with the law and the language, would you say?
It's not clearly drafted.
Melissa Drake is Joe's attorney. She tells us the law isn't just failing him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurse.
I want y'all to hear this situation. This dude want to be a father. But guess what? They wasn't married, but she was married. Guess who got the responsibility? The father, stepfather. You can't make this shit up. And he have no say-so in the matter. Shout out to Chief Rocker for the $5 donation. They said, but when it comes to custody, the best interest of the child is always awarded to the woman. On that note, brother.
Truth is what it is.
Truth is what the fuck it is. That's why I tell y'all, if y'all gonna get married, do a spiritual. Don't do all that city hall, county shit. I'm telling you, man. Let's hear it out.
Dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families.
Reproductive coercion. That's reproductive coercion. Just like that doctor in Chicago that I told you about. 6 figures, high value, that's what you want to call it. Got money, professional, got a license. She's in the medical field, been in the game for a lot of years. And she did the same thing to that man, another doctor. I'm going to let Denzel speak from Malcolm X before I press play.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Let's hear it again.
Online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here.
So, even though he's the biological father, the girlfriend said, nah, I'm going to raise it with my husband. You can't make this shit up. I want y'all to hear that again for you dumb motherfuckers in the back that think that every man is on child support because, oh, he don't want to be a father. Oh, he did, she did, she the pig bed and all that shit. Nah, these baby mama terrorists, they know what they be doing. This motherfucker wrote in the court papers that she want the husband to take care of him. And I'll be damned, the husband most likely agree. He must agree for her to say that. And even if he didn't agree, she gonna put him on child support anyway if she divorced him. But evidently, there must not be no divorce. He probably said, I'll take care of that baby boss. These white people. But y'all motherfuckers talking about, oh, the non-color people, they don't get down like that. They don't have them problem. They smart and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hill and Force Weathers. He said, how you didn't know? Where y'all find this content? Oh my God. Oh man, this old. I've been doing this for 5-6 years. I've been having this stuff post on Facebook, Instagram, and now I'm putting it on YouTube. This has been going on for a long time. White, black, blue, or green, but people want to tell me that the system is so fair. It's for the best interest of the child. Now, this dude want to be the father. But guess what? He ain't allowed to be a father. He ain't even paying child support because she got the right to choose who she wants to be the father and take care of the child with child support. Him, boyfriend, or husband. And she have that right. Yeah. Let's hear it again. I want y'all to hear it again for you dummies in the back that say that it's the best thing in the world. Ain't nothing wrong with child support.
Is Joe's attorney. She tells us the law isn't just failing him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support. Let's sign the proper documents and let me just do that.
You're trying to do the right thing.
That's all I want.
What can be done about this?
What can be done about this is people should be more responsible and shouldn't have sex outside of marriage, shouldn't father children outside of marriage, and should think before they act.
Well, you heard what he said. I mean, is he wrong? Nope. But at the same time, he's grinning, he's laughing, and it is what it is. Now, he was just saying that I don't think it's right that a father who's married take care of a child ain't his if she go out and cheat. But when it comes to the unwedded father, it's like, hey, it's on you, fam. Even though he didn't know, even though I guess they were separated or whatever, don't matter. That's why I say as men, we definitely have to change the laws in our mind because you have some woman that don't go home at all. And she's staying with you every day, and you thinking that she's not married, you thinking that she's just with you, and then you find out after the fact that you got a kid, but you have no say because the husband still got say so if he decides to be the father. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to Dope Style Productions. Shout out to you, brother, for the $20 donation. I appreciate you to the fullest. I want to let y'all know. When they talk that non-color bullshit, they lie to you, fam. I want y'all to hit it one more time. Just one more time. I want y'all to hear, yes, the husband is weak. He's the biggest simple force on the planet. I wish I would.
Here I come to save the day.
And unfortunately for this dude, they had the baby mama Tess had him do the Bill Withers.
Keep on using me until you use me up.
Now you talking about getting finesse. That is reproductive coercion. But they only say that only happens towards women. Let's watch this one more time, and then I'm going to open up the chat, and then I'm getting back on the couch.
For him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support.
Hold on. Let me see what it say right here.
Was going to raise it with.
Let me see if we can read some of this shit. These baby mama tears ain't shit. And guess what state this is going on in? I'm only read what I can see. I really pray that you and everyone involved, whatever. I'm so sorry, and I'm not taking this lightly at something to make things work. I will never stop praying for you. Praying for your baby, and it's to be raised in one home. So the bitch says, Andrea, baby mama tells Al Karen, She says that, you know, I understand the situation. I understand how you feel. I understand you want to be a father. I see you willing to pay child support. But only thing I could do is pray for the baby. And she said it needs to be raised in one home, but yet you over in other people's homes getting fucked and sucked and all this shit. You can't make this shit up and getting knocked up by somebody else in another home. These baby mama terrorists are allowed to be slut walkers. Why you think that when it comes to these baby mama terrorists, they don't have no shame? See, back in the day, they could play the role and hide his shame if they, you know, being a hoe. But see, thanks to good old United Snakes of America, they have taught them that being a hoe is the norm. Being scandalous is okay. Setting men up for failure, that's good. And they can do whatever they want to do. Anytime you can sit back and say, Chris Brown great me, and I want $20 million, and everybody come to her defense, and they telling him go fuck himself, but then he come out with a motherfucking text message. Now everybody get quiet? And you telling me that it's equality when it comes to United Snakes of America? Okay. Shout out to 720X for being a new member. I appreciate you, my brother. This goes on in the black community. This goes on in the white community. This goes on in the Latino community. This goes on in the Indian community. It goes on any community in any state, any country that got feminism as the ringleaders. You can't make this shit up. She basically said, we couldn't read all this, but we saw it needs to be raised in one home. And that sucker-ass husband actually said, no problem, baby. You could use me up too. You know, how that go?
Bitter milk.
Yeah, that's what he did. See, he made a choice to stay with this stupid-ass motherfucker. But actually, she the smart one. He the stupid-ass motherfucker. So again, when motherfuckers say, don't get married, live a free agent lifestyle, take the red pill, take the black pill, get your passport, save yourselves, black men, save yourselves, men. They go MGTOW. They say they ain't having no kids at all. They just gonna be single and shit. You can't talk shit about why you feel that way. That ain't the way God planned it. Well, God needed to make some changes in our humanity. Shout out to 720X once again for the $5 donation. He says, of course, her name would be Andrea. My baby mama Ted shares the same name and energy. Keep up the good work, brother. Shout out to you, my brother. And this brother, as you see, he's pro-black. Red, black, and green is on his face. That's the mask he got on. And I respect this brother, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't even know dude. I respect this brother. He's pro-black. He's for his black community. He's for black people. But at the same time, he's not a fool. And he had one of his goddess queens to set him up for failure. You can't make this shit up. I have to say it again. When y'all talk about white supremacy, which white supremacy is this? Or you want to talk about systematic racism? Yeah, all that. Yeah, yes, sir. You talking about the racist cops and all that? Yeah, yes, sir. But guess the one who make that 911 call? Guess the one that you sleep with every day, the one you married to, the one you in a relationship with that you thought was good. She run to that same white supremacy and set your black ass up for failure. And you want to talk about, well, why y'all don't say shit about the white supremacy? Because you got white supremacy right on the side of your motherfucking arm. Shout out to you, my brother. And he said it, yep. So, like I said, it is what it is. Y'all get mad at me, getting your feelings, or you curse too much, you wear a fuck child's wear hat, you just broke, just say so. Your mama black, you sleep on the couch. But again, I'm gonna tell you, motherfuckers, you can't prove me wrong. So, again, y'all motherfuckers talking about some non-colored people don't have these problems, these issues. They have it way more than anybody else in the fucking nation. Rural areas, like the black man said. Let's finish this shit off so I can open up this live.
Gonna raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying, I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support. Let's sign the proper documents and let me just do that.
You're trying to do the right thing.
That's all I want.
What can be done about this?
What can be done about this is people should be more responsible and shouldn't have sex outside of marriage, shouldn't father children outside of marriage, and should think before they act. That's what needs to happen. Could we do more? Yes. Could we fine tune it? Yes. Should a father have to pay support on a child when it's not his child? No. So we do need to do more, but we've made some monumental changes.
See, he said that you shouldn't have to change. This the senator and shit back then. I don't know if he's senator now, but he said you shouldn't have to. But at the same time, he got this goof ass grin on his face. He ain't taking it seriously. He know that the court's not gonna. Well, he know that the state not gonna make that change no time soon. It is what it is. He trying to make it look good that he's for the father, but actually he's not. Don't believe that. And on that note, I'm gonna let Denzel speak on behalf of Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Shout out to cool brother Phil for the $20 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. And this brother's hotel. But again, I have to say it again, for you open-minded brothers and sisters that know right from wrong and calls out everything, not just, white supremacy. I salute y'all. Y'all the real pro-blacks. Y'all the real hotel. Y'all the real Moors. Y'all the real Israelites. Y'all the real Nation of Islam. Because you got a lot of motherfuckers in y'all circle, or I ain't gonna say circle, but in y'all community that will tell you when it comes to child support, it's just you being a deadbeat and sister, queen, goddess ain't do shit wrong. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you. Baker says they call you everything, but never call you wrong. They can't, G. They can't. You can't. You can lie and say it if you want to, but that's why I told y'all from the get-go that when it comes to motherfuckers trying to shame me and all that shit,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
That's all running through my veins. My veins is cold. I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to keep calling this motherfucker shit out. Motherfuckers ain't going to talk about this. You know how many bitches that's going to leave and run away from your channel when you be talking about K for these motherfuckers? Psh, you would lose money. And a lot of these dudes on social media is just like the state. They don't want to lose that money. So they'll tickle their chins and do the Derrick Jackson move, but at the same time, talk about Derrick Jackson. You can't make this shit up. He a simp ass nigga, but you converted to the same simp ass niggas logic. Yeah. Sounds real good.
Heather Walker reporting. Well, after we started questioning friend of the court, it dropped its request for Joe to pay child support. In fact, 10 days ago, an Ottawa County judge issued an order clearing Joe of all responsibility for that child. As for Rob, he was able to see his son, but only for an hour. He's still fighting in court to get legal rights for regular visits.
Now, check this out. The husband didn't have to pay child support. And the boyfriend was able to see his son for an hour. Let's say that one more time and we put this shit to the end. Because the woman got to say so. She got the power when it comes to this court system, where she black, white, blue, or green. They treat you all the same. If you're a pro-black brother or a hotel brother, a white man in overalls or a white man in a suit, or a nigga like me that sleep on the couch, we go in there together, I guarantee you they're going to treat us all one of the same. We all the same motherfuckers. Deadbeats every other weekend in child support, 9 times out of 10. He saw his child for 1 fucking hour, but he's a deadbeat.
Heather Walker reporting. Well, after we started questioning friend of the court, it dropped its request for Joe to pay child support. In fact, 10 days ago, an Ottawa County judge issued an order clearing Joe of all responsibility for that child. As for Rob, he was able to see his son, but only for an hour. He's still fighting in court to get legal rights for regular visits.
As long as she's married to that dude, you will not have no legal rights. It's hard for you to get rights as an unwedded father. Hell, it's even hard for you if you're a divorced father. He only get every other weekend. He get 1 hour. 1 hour. What's up, Bill? 1 fucking hour. I just put the link in the chat.
What's up, Mr. Palmer?
Hey, it's your world, bro. What's the deal?
Oh shit, man. Just sitting back, chilling, man, watching this ESPN, man.
What's
Hey,
up
bro,
with this, bro?
man, this shit is so fucked up, man. And it seems like when when a man gets advice, it's only the man gets advice about how responsible he should be, but I never hear motherfuckers give women advice how they should be responsible.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you know, and the thing about I mean the system, man, I mean, man, the system is just used as a weapon, man. But and I used to feel sorry for, when I used to hear stories about women getting knocked off by the man, you know what I'm saying? He come in and kill everybody in the house and may off himself or whatever. I used to think the men was crazy, man. But now I see a lot of these stories, man, and a lot of things that I'm going through and a lot of other men are going through, man. Man, this shit is fucked up, man.
100%, bro. That is, it's sad that what kills me is the fact that people, they don't, like I say, they don't call me a liar. They try to twist around and say, oh, he's a threat, or he's bitter and all that shit. They never call me a lie, especially even now. They really don't call me no lie with all this shit
Well,
out there.
yeah, well, I mean, the truth is undisputed. I mean, you can't, how can you defend the truth? Or how can you even fight it? I mean, you putting it right in everybody's face.
They call their ass fighting it by shame tactics, which I tell you all the time. That's like telling a squirrel that he need a ladder to climb a tree.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just don't understand, man. These women, um, they turn their child into a case number, and they think that the system is giving a fuck about them, but the system is just using you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, say if we was to turn this into some street shit, like, hey man, you step on a nigga's Jordans out in the street, he gonna want to fight. Now, just think if you was talking about some financial shit.
Right.
If you robbing a nigga in the streets or you owe a nigga some money or something like that, you know what I mean? They gonna come get you. So with the system setting a female up for possible retaliation, that shows that they really don't give a fuck about you.
They don't.
As long as they get their money, I mean, whatever happens to you is gonna happen.
Right. And the sad part, they're gonna say I'm wrong because I say don't give a fuck about them. Don't negotiate with a terrorist, or keep your veins cold, or pay your child support and leave it at that. See,
right.
Don't you miss with that bullshit, that shame tax shit, that shit dead, nigga.
Man. And you know what I'm saying? The way the system is so set up, man, like it's so easy to get entwined in the system, but then it's hard for them to figure out a solution for you to get out of it, or for them to make right on the wrong that they did. You know what I'm saying? It should be against the law for a bitch to just falsely accuse a motherfucker that this is my father, this is the father of my child, and now this man owe a whole bunch of money. And the thing is, it might come out the blue. It might come out 10 years later, 5 years later, whatever the case may be. And he don't even know that he's being falsely accused until he get a letter or until he get pulled over and arrested.
Right. But you already know the only reason why they're not going to try to change that, because if they do that, then again, they're going to lose money in that cookie jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't see the government changing anything. They may pacify, but they're not going to do anything to benefit man when it's man that's doing all the changing.
Right.
But bro, anything else you want to say, brother?
Man, that's man, it's just a fucked up situation, man. And it's really, it's really scary, man, to just, out of the blue, you just get that obligation of 30,000 or some rears and shit, especially for a child that ain't yours. Right. I mean, man, it got to be a law, man. You got motherfuckers trying to steal DNA from a condom, and you know what I'm saying, impregnate themselves, and you got I mean, not only the system, but you got other motherfucking entities that make millions off this shit. I mean, look at Maury Povich. This motherfucker got a net worth of 80 million off off the fact of women coming on his show, not knowing who the father is. You bring about 10 motherfuckers on the show and they all get tested and none of them are the father. You know what I mean? So you just blaming fatherhood on innocent niggas.
Right, 100%. Last question, and I'm gonna let Dallas D up. Now, I know and you and a lot of others know that it's not just a black man problem. What is your opinion, or what's your thoughts on seeing these white dudes go through the same shit, if not worse, go through the same shit as black men? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, shit, I mean, I think white men go through it worse because it's more married white men.
Of course.
You know, and I mean, like if you talk about the employment rate, there's more white men that's employed more than black men. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be held responsible at a higher rate.
Right. So when people tell you that no, it's just black dudes don't want to be fathers and deadbeats, and white men are alphas, and white men are they non-colored people don't complain and all that shit. What's your response?
Man, they the pioneers of this shit, man.
Fucking they right. Fucking they right. It was made. Yeah. So I appreciate you, my brother, man. You just can't make this shit up, man.
Yeah, and it was their guilt that started this system.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Yeah, man. I'm gonna sit back, man, and listen to what everybody else got to say, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my brother, to the fullest.
Okay, bro.
All right. We got Dallas D up in here. Let me yeah, she unmuted. I had to let you up next because I know getting you on here, man, you be busy as hell.
Oh yeah, because I'm only gonna be on here for a second, but I had to bring a little bit of education to the panel. So what I wanted to say was regarding this Tennessee passing this whole DNA test, mandatory testing. First of all, even if they do pass that, I don't want people to get too excited because, and someone else brought up, I think it was Majestic, brought up a point that, you know, there are laws that allow you to stop having to pay child support for children that are not biologically yours. However, just because those laws are in place and just because a DNA test proves that a child is not yours, or just because there's a law that says we're going to mandate DNA testing, a estoppel law, which is what a lot of people don't know about, can override all of that. So whether those laws are in place or not, estoppel law. So what estoppel law is, it has nothing to do with child support at all. Estoppel law is about freedoms and rights. So what estoppel law says is you don't have the right to claim freedom to a right that you previously violated. So for instance, if you're, whether you married to a woman and you find out one of the kids wasn't yours, or whether you're dating a girl with kids and y'all get married, you know that that child was not yours because the child was in existence prior to you dating them. Estoppel law says that if you were voluntarily taking care of them, spending money on them, you know, investing in their lifestyle and all that, then that means at the end of that relationship, because that child is accustomed to, you don't get to claim the right that you are not rightfully obligated to fund that child's life going forward. That's what estoppel law is. So even if these laws are in place, if a court wants to use estoppel law, that'll override all of that because it's what the child is accustomed to. And you can't claim freedom to a right that you violated yourself.
100%. And I said it earlier in the previous video, even though in Colorado, and the article, the judge can override it. Even though the law say that you can't do this and do that, the judge can override it.
Absolutely. So it's go back to protect your seeds, because either way it go, they can put all the laws they want on paper. They can act like they're operating in the best interest of fathers now, but we all know that it's bullshit. It's symbolism. That's all it is.
Right. It's just
words on paper.
Yep. Tickling people's chin. They it's always raised around it. I mean, that's why I wanted y'all to see that even when it comes for men who don't have biological attachment with the child, but guess what? We deem you as the most fit because you was married or because she say so. You can't make this shit up.
Absolutely. But yeah, I just stopped in here to share that with the panel. So don't get excited about these laws that look like they're in favor of fathers, because estoppel law can overrule all of that.
I ain't trying to favor no father. He's just trying to tickle some chins for the moment. I already
Right.
goddamn
But
thing.
great content, Mr. Palmer. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Spreading awareness to what child support is about. I know that the terminology "fuck child support" raises a lot of eyebrows. It's an unpopular statement, but people don't realize that the states have never made decisions for a child in the best interest of the child. So good work. Keep pushing that message out there, and you know I'm always here to support you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Before you leave, tell them what time you're going live today and what you talking
So
about.
8:15 tonight, Melanated and Candid will be going live. Today's show is going to be about Black Girl Magic or Black Girl Tragic. So we'll be talking about, we're going to be talking about, do we actually celebrate Black excellence, or are we just celebrating symbolism in Blackface, looking for diversity? So that's what today's show is about.
Oh yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, definitely got to be on there. There's gonna be a lot of haters. Gonna be mad.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of haters, and a lot of y'all ain't gonna like the names that we say are not Black Girl Magic, but y'all keep applauding all this nonsense.
Hey, they asked your channel, put your channel in there so we can put it out there. Yeah, y'all definitely need to subscribe, man.
Will do, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you, sir. Keep up the good work, though.
Yeah, you too. We getting it popping. Don't even worry about it.
All right.
All right now. Later. Hell nah. Zone, what's up, bro?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Palmer? What's good with you?
Oh man, just just spreading awareness and making them mad and shit.
Yeah, man. Let me get my thoughts together. All right. So when it comes to men and our issues, particularly around child support, Pete, you go on these TV shows, you go on YouTube, you go on Instagram to talk about the problems that you're going through, and they want to say, "Oh, you're complaining because you just want to buy alcohol, or you just want to throw money at the strip club, or you just want to go to Vegas and roll the dice." But when it comes to women and their issues and what they push, it's let's take this serious. Let's pass this law. Let's, put this into effect on January 1st. Like, they always get that serious look. And when it comes to a man, it's just like, we don't get that same energy put behind us. Like, for instance, how they talked about the paternity fraud. Now, if you go and write a check and it's a bad check, and you get investigated by the FBI, that's fraud, right? They're gonna lock you up for that, right?
Big time.
Okay. Now, when it comes to every now and then, you'll hear about congressmen, congresswomen, Nancy Pelosi, that do insider trading, and then they cash in all of their stocks and all of this kind of stuff. But if the FBI does an investigation and they get indicted and they get convicted, that's some kind of fraud, yes? Right? When it comes to that?
Yep.
Okay. So when a woman decides to step outside of her marriage and she slips up and she gets pregnant because she steps out on her husband, and she puts her now ex-husband on child support, and then there's a DNA test, and the DNA test comes back negative, and the father has been paying child support and the child is not his, that's also fraud as well. So it's like, if they can come up with these laws when it comes to the banking system, oh, that's fraud. Oh, you did that, that's fraud. Oh, you did that, that's fraud. But all of a sudden, when it comes to a man paying child support for a child that's not his, oh, it's in the best interest of the child. And that's another goddamn thing that pisses me off too. How you say that's the best interest of the child, you making it seem like the best interest of the child is not the father actually being in the child's life. That's another thing that was pissing me off through the whole live that kept like a reoccurring thing that was happening back, that they kept saying in these videos, it's in the best interest of the child. How the fuck do y'all know what's in the best interest of the child? Y'all not in me and his mom household. Y'all don't know the dynamics of my family. Y'all don't know what medical issues my child might have. Y'all don't know what other external factors is going on, playing a part in our family. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck is best for the child. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that shit is some fucking bullshit. And is basically, I'm white, not say so. Whether that applies to white men, black men, Indian, Hispanic, Asian, all of us. And it's just all some bullshit. And they can create laws like when the whole coronavirus shit was happening and the Asians were getting their business destroyed. All of a sudden they want to come up with anti-hate laws and anti-crime laws and all of this kind of shit. So they can create laws when they want to, and they can also find ways to repeal laws when they want to. It's just that they don't want to. It's just that they don't fucking want to. So
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They don't want to, and they ain't got to.
Exactly. So it's just all some bullshit. And the dude that was saying that he wants to be a father, he wants to pay child support. See that, the primary thing that he got to do there is he got to keep his veins cold, and he has to move on, because that is just a losing battle. Like that's a strategy. That's something that you could actually apply to yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's no need in catching a heart attack and getting all gray and young and stressing out and keep worrying. You know what I'm saying? You, in situations like that, that's a losing battle. You got to keep your veins cold, and you got to move on. And like, that's a part of the process of changing the laws of your mind, because it's a lot of dudes that have not heard your message. And if they heard your message, and if they don't change the laws of their mind after that, then I really don't know what to say. But that's all I got to say, is just that it's all some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did, when it comes to this banking shit, they'll tell you it's fraud when you do some fucked up shit with the banking system all day. But if the child's not yours, but you've been paying, that's not fraud all of a sudden. So it's just all some bullshit. But that's all I got, Mr. Palmer.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, my brother. Be
All
safe,
right.
brother.
Peace.
Peace out. I want to give a shout out to Lee Smith for the $10 donation. She says, she's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. She's my baby mama. She be stay protected, saying I'm the pappy on the niggas records.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Yeah, she's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. She's my baby mama. She be stay protected, saying I'm the pappy on niggas records.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Shout out to you, my brother. Yeah. Live Original, what's good?
Hey,
What's going
can you
on?
hear me? Nothing much. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm just getting gas. I'm
How
gonna
much
be
is y'all
honest,
gas
like
in
it's
New York? Before you speak, how much is y'all gas in New York?
it's like what is it, like 425, 435?
Man, we paying more than y'all. Shit.
I'm not complaining because my car's good on gas, so but
not tripping.
no, it's 439. I'm looking at it now, it's 439.
It was like that when
For
Obama
regular.
was in office. It was high when Obama was in office, so there ain't no difference.
Yeah. But it's sad that this even has to be a bill, because the option of having a DNA test is available to men. They just don't take it. And I don't understand why. If you have a baby, or you think you have a baby and you don't get the DNA test, that's on you. It's there. The option to get it is there, even for married men.
Right.
A woman can't fool you. I mean, a woman can't fool you unless you allow her to. You mean to tell me that the option of having a DNA test is there and you still don't? I don't understand.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if men just want to believe that their girl wouldn't do that to them. And in some cases, you do have a good woman and it is your child. Thank you. But at the same time, what is the harm in knowing? You will never know for sure until you have a DNA test, even if the child looks like you.
100%.
I have a coworker who was taking care of a child. Until the child was 3. Him and the mother split. She put him on child support, and he was like, all right. Like him. Want to know why?
because the guy that the other guy that she was sleeping with looked just like him. They favored each other. They could have passed the brothers.
So he was taking care of a child that wasn't his. It was ended up being some dude that looked like him.
Yeah, him and whoever she was messing with, they looked just alike. The dude favored her. I know another guy. He taking care of a child, and the girl's family told him, "Look, I think you should get a DNA test because that child might not be yours because the dude she was messing with, y'all favor each other."
So he was being ignorant.
Yeah, well, my coworker, the one that was taking care of a kid, he got a DNA test when the mother tried to put him on child support, and it wasn't his. He showed her the results and walked off and never spoke to her again. But I know another guy, to this day, he still hasn't gotten a DNA test. And he's not going to get one. You want to know why? Because he's attached. He's a sucker.
Fucking poop.
He's a sucker. If the girl's family is telling you, yo, if I was you, I would get I'd get a test. I mean, her family's telling you. Who else do you need to tell you?
Right. Shout out to
I don't know why y'all men don't get DNA tests.
Hey.
And for the ones who are volunteering to raise another man's child, you're an idiot. I've had a conversation with a dude that I know, right? He has no kids for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. For whatever reason, he is with a girl who has a child. So he's telling me like that he doesn't like the child's father, or whatever the case is. I'm like, why? Because he put her through a lot. I said, how long did she know him before she had his baby? Less than a year. I said, how long? 5 months. I said, so she had a baby by a man she barely knew. Yeah, okay, that was her choice. She didn't have to have a baby. She could have been on birth control. She could have had an abortion. She chose to carry that baby to term. That was her choice. Secondly, you feel away because he doesn't do what he's supposed to do as a father. That's not your business, and that's not your place. He doesn't like the fact that he plays with the little girl's feelings. That's his child. He can play with her feelings if he wants to. That's not your place. That's not your business. And then you telling me if you see him, you want to fight him. For what? That's not your child. That's not your baby mom. So what if he pulls out a gun and shoots you? You going to risk your life.
And not only that, you know what? Not only that, I bet you that bitch told him that he was a bunch of pieces of shit, deadbeat. He ain't this, he ain't that, and he fell for it.
He's in jail, but it doesn't matter. That's who she chose. That's who she chose.
I don't care about him being in jail. He the father. Shout out to Jazz Wiz, man, for the $2 donation. She said some of these men are scared of their women. 100% facts. 100%
That is not your child. Not your child. Not your problem. I don't understand it. That's not your kid. Why do you care? Why are you taking on that?
Truth is what it is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I say, if you dealing with somebody that got a kid and the father in the picture, not in the picture, still ain't your kid. And hopefully you ain't dealing with no piece of shit ass dude that's trying to fuck with y'all shit. You know what I mean? That's why I say, hey, it is what it is, fam. You can't get mad because you want to be a father, whether he a deadbeat or not. That ain't your place.
Yeah, but you can't press a man about what his relationship with his child.
You
like,
can't.
motherfucker, who are you?
You
Who
can't.
are you?
Right, exactly. He a sucker.
You want to fight him for what? Oh, I love that little girl like she's my own. That don't change the fact that she's not yours and she never will be yours. The truth is what it is. That ain't your child. That's not you. You didn't. That is not the. You didn't bust that nut. That's not your nut.
What it is.
That's not your place. You
Right.
men, especially you childless men, getting in relationships with girls who got kids, y'all are stupid.
Yeah. I have to say that if you ain't got no kids and you turn around and you want to get with somebody that got kids and shit, and and you turn around
You're
getting
an
knocked
idiot.
out,
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You shouldn't listen. You should not be living with a child that's not yours. If that child decides to accuse you of anything, you're done. Period. You should leave women with kids alone.
And
Y'all
then
are not understanding. You're gonna get put on child support.
And you know
Y'all
what?
are like weak.
You know what kills me? The fact that, like you just said, you want to fight dude because he want to be a father.
And we'll probably
That
get
don't
your
make no
ass beat.
sense.
And we'll probably get your ass beat. That's not your kid.
That's crazy. I wouldn't have
And
nothing.
at the end of the day, you're gonna risk your life, right? Because he could really pop you. People is not fighting nowadays. You're gonna risk your life for a child that's not yours, and you're gonna risk your life for a man that she chose to fuck. I told him this straight up and down.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all. And then I'm sitting there looking like, if that girl, like, y'all really be thinking that y'all, first of all, taking care of a child that's not yours is not stepping up. It's stepping down. It's falling down a long flight of stairs. That's number one. Number two, why are you investing in another nigga's dick juice? Number three, you don't get no respect for that. You know how many men are, you know how many men, my ex, one of my exes, right? I left him. I left. He was a piece of shit. He cheated. I left, right? Okay. The girl he got with afterwards had 2 daughters. He was babysitting her kids, watching her kids and everything. You know she was fucking another dude? And when he pressed her about it, she gave him the same lines that he gave me when I caught him cheating. Don't get me wrong, like, we're cordial now because you gotta learn to forgive and forget. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm not gonna hold on to, I'll never go back to us, but I'm not gonna harbor no hate, because how does me holding a grudge against you, it doesn't serve me. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, we're cordial. Mainly because every time I block him, he hits me from a new number. But regardless, you're sitting there babysitting these 2 little girls that are not your kids, and she's out here getting her coochie ate from the back. Bitch, you doing a good job. Cause this nigga looking stupid.
Oh yeah,
You doing a good job. Fuck that party. Yo, I'm just, it could never be me. Could never be me. Y'all don't get no brownie points. A woman will still go. I know a dude right now. You in a relationship with a single mother that you didn't even want to be in the relationship to begin with, but you didn't have the backbone or the balls to tell her no. You have no kids. You sitting up there paying all the bills, putting a roof over her child's head, food in her kid's stomach. You know what I'm saying? And this bitch is juggling dicks behind your back, and you just don't want to see it. But the truth always comes to light. A lot of these single mothers be making you niggas fucking suckers, especially you niggas with no kids. They be turning y'all into suckers.
Yeah, well, hey, if they don't know by now, that's on them, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on and speaking your piece.
That shit be, I be like, oh my God. And it can't be the pussy, because it's for everybody.
As always, I appreciate you. How's the weather out there?
It's a little brisk, but you know, it's all right. Summertime coming, so
Yeah. All right.
Well, I know you niggas is ready for sundress season.
Oh yeah. You know.
You mad, Mr. Palmer? Don't even.
They gotta do the slut walk.
Yeah.
But
Thank you for having me on, man.
As always, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, now you too.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the Soapbox Heroes channel for the $10 donation. She said, "You can't think with your heart while playing a heartless game." 100% facts. I've been knowing this brother for some years off YouTube. She don't have a YouTube channel, CJ. She don't have a YouTube channel. But she come on here often. She fuck with me, fuck with Jap. She's from New York. Her mother was a single mother, and even her mother, who was a single mother, taught her not to be having kids out of wedlock, and don't fall for these look out for these baby mama terrorists. And she been on the up and up. But this brother right here, I've been knowing for years, man. He got a Facebook channel and YouTube. He started off Facebook. Subscribe to his channel, man. He talk about a lot of shit, man. He got to come on the show too, because he got an interesting story that needed to be put out there when it comes to unjust ass system. So shout out to my man, Soapbox Heroes channel. Appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Andrew Baker for the $20 donation. He said, "Salute, Mr. Palmer. Men, stay away from single mothers because it's a losing situation. Keep up the great work." Shout out to you, my brother. Yeah. Shit. G-Man wanted to speak his piece right quick. Shit. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? I hope they don't bog me out, because I really don't trust north of the border. So let's stay on this top tier of the money. The woman that was getting $250 a week, getting $1,000 a month, look at the backside. That means the father is paying probably around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So remember, child support take theirs first, and then the scallywags get theirs last. And then with Michigan, there was 3 of them, and they was on the media the same time. It was New Jersey, Michigan, and Texas, and all 3 of those had one thing in common. All of them had 3 black bitch judges. And the one in Texas, this dude went to jail for paying too much child support. Yeah, that's when you got to pull up too, because this one was parallel to the brothers in Michigan because it was all over the media. And the strangest thing, it was white women who brought knowledge to this crime. And I think the one in New Jersey and Michigan and Houston said the only reason why you all got out of this is because the media is here. So I want y'all to understand, man, we have a problem. We have a big problem. And there's only one solution for them. And as much as I don't like saying it, it ain't talking. Because now we're in a new groove and they need money. Because they're going to need money from us to give to the new people who's coming over in this country. Oh, and Mr. Palmer, you are wrong about one thing. You said 51 billion. Mr. Palmer, it's 100 billion and up.
I could believe that. I just don't have no proof. You could send me the proof, then I'll say it. I only know about the 51. I mean, some people did say 90 billion, 100 billion, but I didn't want to say that if I can't, prove it.
Because you understand this and just watch the money. Men go to prison, money. Men get on probation, money. Men got to take anger management classes, money. Who teach those classes? Women. See, I understand the feminization of what they doing. Oh, by the way, G-Man, I'm that same brother in the chat, Gerald Jelks. That's me, man. And one of the brothers said, we really can't be afraid to talk about this because actually the money ain't no good. It's backed by nothing. It's backed by our energy. So right now, as the woman said, sundresses, man, that sun can burn their ass. I don't want to see their ass no more. It's done. I don't like getting graped. They reverse the game, so we get graped out of the economics. More men and veterans are homeless because of them. And think about it, you all. How the fuck we going to jail for debt? And I leave it at that. I'm out. Next brother up.
Appreciate you, my brother. That's a good one. I'll be trying to
All right, man.
All right, brother. Peace. How do you go to jail for debt? That's what I'm saying. They have selective outrage. I call that selective outrage too. Shelby, NYC, you there?
Yeah, how you doing, boss? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good, brother.
Yeah, how you doing, boss?
Hey, I'm good, brother. How's everything?
I'm doing okay, man. I think, man, you're a godsend, brother. You're a godsend because you have encouraged me going through my ups and downs. Go ahead. I probably emailed you probably 2 years ago. I was going through a child support case. I'm still going through it because COVID has like messed up everything. And it's been a crazy child support case, crazy. It went up and went down. Yo, quickly. It went from $250 a month, right?
Right.
I got a new magistrate, this racist guy, right? He put it at $850 a month.
How did he jump from 200 to 800?
He threw me out of court because I asked him, I said, yo, dude, how to go from $250 a month to $850 a month? He said, excuse me? He threw me out of court because thank God I'm one of the few men who have 50-50 custody of my child. Thank God.
Hey, whoa, wait. You got equal parenting and you paying $800?
Yep, $850, my brother. Yup.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah, bro.
Wait a minute. When you got equal parenting, it's supposed to be less. How did it get $250 to $850 or $800?
That's what I'm saying. So the first female magistrate, she put at $250 because she saw my custody agreement. She got transferred to a new county.
Oh.
The new guy took over the case. He was like, I don't care. I'm putting at $850 a month. I was like, what?
They don't go. They go off both incomes, right?
Yes, but come to find out, my lawyer said that he's known to do what the hell he wants to do. He's known for being just a jerk in the whole Bronx County. He's known for it.
You ain't no way you can change jurisdiction in counties.
Yeah, so we're trying to do that. So I went back to court with my lawyer. he increased it to $1,300 a month.
Damn.
Yo, my dude, I was on that.
Already know.
Yeah, man, I was on that. My dude. I said, how can I have custody of my child? I have her half the week, and I'm paying so much money to her mom. I said, it's ridiculous. So we went back to court, and he lowered it to like $724 right now. So right now it's $724. My lawyer, thank God for her, she's very, very aggressive. She challenges every piece of evidence. That's why it's been over a 2-year court battle. So I went back to court in January, and he got removed from my case. And now I'll assign a new magistrate. So I go back to court next month. And my lawyer said because he's out the way, a child support should be like decreased by half.
That's crazy. But it's still gonna be higher than the 250 because even if they cut to 700, that's 350.
Exactly.
So they still getting extra. That's some bullshit. But before you speak, I want y'all to hear this.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in a post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
Shout out to Clifford Burns. See, that was you feeling.
Yeah, hell, I was feeling that, man. But then my lawyer says what they're going to do is, because right now it's still a temporary court order, right? Once it's final this year in 2022, they're going to backdate it to 2020.
I know what you're saying. They got to deduct your child support until you catch up.
Exactly. So is that a win? I guess it's a win. I guess
it's a win. It's a win because the money you already overspent gonna be deducted, so you can pay less. So and you'll catch up as even. So you could say it's a win because they could have said, "Hey, you're gonna keep paying this $700, $800."
Right. Exactly. And your channel, man, it's the truth, my dude. It's the truth. I work for a big corporation in New York, right? And
Okay.
I'm thinking that it's only black dudes or Spanish dudes who go through this, right? Yo, when I went through my case, people saw it on my face how frustrated I was. So white dudes like, "Yo, how you doing, Shaw? You okay? You okay?" And right, and so hold on, baby. And so these white dudes at my job go through it worse, a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? More than I'd even known. But your channel, my dude, this has given me the motivation to go further and keep fighting, my dude. So keep pushing, my dude. For real, keep pushing, man. For real.
Hey, I definitely appreciate that. New York is the worst court system in the nation.
Yeah, definitely, my dude, definitely. But your channel, man, is a godsend. It gives me like inspiration. And other dudes who I know, white dudes, black dudes, dudes from Jamaica, England, everywhere, man. When they're going through stuff, man, I forward them your YouTube channel all the time, my dude, for real. All the time. For real.
And I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah,
hey,
God bless, man.
Once I like I say, me and Ramil, we trying to set up something in Chicago. The next move gonna be New York. So
Oh yeah, brother. Yo, for real.
Yeah.
You are felt over here, my dude.
Oh,
feel
yeah.
you over here, for real.
New York. Yeah, I had to say New York. It's a lot of cities and states, but New York is predominantly the brothers that fucks with it. So
Yeah,
I
all
appreciate
5 boroughs, man. All 5 boroughs, man.
Yeah.
All 5 boroughs, brother, for real.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you now. I appreciate you to the fullest and thank you.
Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing.
All right, bro. Email me again, bro.
I will do, brother. Will do.
All right, now.
All right. Bye.
I just want y'all to understand that when it comes to this system, definitely they ain't got no color but green. So just like he said, I didn't know that. I did too at one point. I thought it was just black people, man. Shout out to Jazz Wiz, man, for the $2 donation. He said these judges are disgusting. Probably get a cut. Yeah, some judges get a piece of child support. They go into their pension and shit. They get a incentive. Not all the judges, but some of them judges, they get paid for it. Yes, that's a fact. They not gonna tell you shit like that. They not gonna let you know a goddamn thing. They're gonna keep it quiet and make it like, it's for the best interest of the children. Lies. Shout out to Lauren Seals for the $5 donation. Said the child support system is a bigger pimp than Iceberg Slim. Cows gang, cows gang, cows gang, cows gang. You ain't never lied. I gotta let my man usual come up after I holler at Mr. Lee Smith for the $5 donation. He said the system calls it an obligation, not a debt. That's how it justifies jail time for not paying child support. This child support system is an extortion / racketeering ring. That's why they say they cannot tell you you're going to jail for not paying your debt, because technically you're not supposed to go to jail for not paying a debt. They say that you failed to oblige the obligation that you agreed upon, the contract. And then they put down this voluntary. Really is not. I heard guys say, they said if I didn't sign that pay, I was going to jail. So they a motherfucking lie. So yeah, shout out to this brother. I'm gonna say it one more time. Shout out to Lee Smith for the $5 donation. Said the system calls it an obligation, not a debt. Yeah, you failed to do your obligation. That's how it justifies jail time for not paying child support. This child support system is an extortion / racketeering ring. Shout out to you, brother. That's what I'm saying. It's real out here in the field, man. Shout out to my man Usual coming up. I'm done. I'm back to the couch and shit and run my child support as usual. What's up, Usual? What's good, fam?
Hey, what's happening, fam? Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me.
You got the new ass mic over there in Cleveland and shit.
Man, I'm trying to get it together, man. You already know.
All good.
Yeah, man. I had a couple things that I was hearing on here. I just wanted to mention a couple things. When the sister was saying, don't you don't get what a woman take care of her kids. I understand that part, but we always supposed to do for the fatherless. And we say the fatherless and the widows. These baby mama terrorists are not widows. So I'm not talking about them.
No, they weird.
But yes, what I'm saying. But the kids, the fatherless kids, you're not supposed to get with her and take care of the kids like that. But you are supposed to help the fatherless children because they need it more than anybody else. They didn't do nothing. They just got an ignorant ass parent. But you don't marry her, you don't get with her and take care of her kids and all that type. And that's not what it said when it said do for the fatherless kids. It just says do for them. So it's okay to do for fatherless kids because they why are they fathers? Sometimes they fathers because the terror took them away.
What you speaking on?
Say what?
What you speaking on?
No, sometimes when people say not taking care of these baby mama terrorist kids and things of that nature.
I get what here's the thing. All right. Like I said before, all single mothers are not baby mama terrorists. I'll be allowed to say that, but the most of them are. They chose to be baby mama terrorists. They ran a man out the picture. They did it because they wanted to catch a bag. Them the ones who I talk about. Now,
I already know, man, and I'm not talking about even helping any of the women. I'm speaking on the children alone. You know what I'm saying? Because the children. Yeah, the children alone. You know what I'm saying? Because they fatherless, they're in need, like a poor person. They're in need. That's why I say when to feed the poor, them kids is messed up. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, I'm not talking about getting with the woman at all. I ain't talking about being her boyfriend, taking care of her, or even marrying her and trying to get with. No, I ain't talking about that at all. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I'm in the teaching profession, so I know that some of these kids in a bad situation with they fucked up ass parents, and we the only thing they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't the kid fault a lot of times. It's the mama fault, and we all know it's the mama fault. So you know what I mean. But like I said, just don't dog them because they mama's fucked up.
I'm not gonna. I
know you don't do that. I'm just saying.
You don't dog the kid unless that kid end up being one of them son husbands. Ass manipulate ass kid and just fuck him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I also wanted to say, man, the dude that was just talking about his lawyer and child support. Child support is not even a real court. And your lawyer is not going to be on your side. In fact, your lawyer probably told how much you was making, and that's why they raised it up so high. You got that lawyer, and you told the lawyer your finances, and that lawyer let that person know because child support is all about money. Child support pays the juvenile court. Wherever you're at, child support gives money to make sure that magistrate in front of you is doing in the best interest of child support. That's why they can get sued. That's the only place where you can get sued. Like other courts, you can't sue the judge or the magistrate,
right?
Because they're working under their judicial functions. But when they're under contract, when you're in child support court, they're under a contract, so they're going to be biased automatically. So for you trying to get a lawyer to go in there, the lawyer is not on your team. It's not on your side. But I just want to throw that out there because I really, you know what I'm saying? I really know what happened to you. They're all trying to get your money.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it need to be out here because a lot of people don't think that. They think that every fucking lawyer is for you, and it's not the case. I have told men, I have told the stepmoms, hey, this lawyer is sending you off. I could tell different what you said. It's some bullshit, and they say, nah, well, we're gonna chance, and guess what? They go down like fucking Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It ain't what you think. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
You may find that one or two lawyer that actually is about it. But for the most part, they all one of the same.
Yeah, and what you have to do, you have to tell them what to do. Because truth be told, if
Yeah,
you've been fighting for years but never went to a court of appeals, you never appealed the decision, but you paying thousands of dollars. Because the only thing appeal is saying whatever that judge said, I'm gonna go over the judge's head because I don't agree with what the judge said. If your lawyer didn't even go as far to appeal it or any type of discovery, you got to ask for discovery. Ask for all the information, how much they meant. This, all the discovery. If your lawyer don't do these certain things, that's why the only time you really get a lawyer is when you can tell him what to do in your case. You tell him, you don't give him money and say, do your thing. You give him money and say, I want you to do this, and I want you to, and okay, he made a decision, appeal it, go over his head. I'm paying you money, go over his head because he's wrong, and somebody in the higher court will overrule his bullshit. That's what they just did with that Jussie Smollett case. They appealed it.
They took that nigga out so they could decide.
Yeah.
Man, whatever.
During the appeal.
Yeah, fuck out of here. But you know,
yeah, I know that shit fucked up. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, when it comes to the appeal process, why don't you use it to your advantage in child support and go over their head? And that's what people, like I said, if you paying somebody $1,000 and they haven't even appealed, and I can appeal, I appeal myself. All you need to do is send some certified mail. It only costs $4 to send and do some paperwork.
Right.
For real, it don't cost really, but when you have these lawyers and you paying them all $1,000, and then that's what I'm saying. So I just want to throw that out there, man, and appreciate what you're doing.
I definitely appreciate you, my brother. I do understand. I keep forgetting you are a school teacher.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I got a heart for the little fucked up ass kids, because you know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know what I mean? Like, damn, it ain't your fault. Your mama's so damn fucking ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting over here snotty nose, no food. You know what I'm saying? This shit's fucked up. I'm like, damn, come over here, get something to eat, man. Wipe your nose.
Ignorant.
Yeah, ignorant.
Yes, yeah. Hey, yo, and that's what I wanted to say too. When the lady was in the dark, she couldn't even say one of the words. I forgot what the fuck the word was. Assistant. She couldn't say assistance. She said a sister or some shit like that. I'm like,
I agree, dumbass. Yeah, I thought I was big off cottage, whatever.
Hey, peace though, brother. Brother Palmer. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Hey, you can't make this shit up. All I can tell you, just change the laws of your mind. You do what works for you, and don't fall down that rabbit hole, especially if you went through it one time already. Shout out to Usama for the $2 donation. He says, Mr. Palmer, Jap, Ramil, Ty City, Angry Man, anyone else at Super Team. Shout out to you, my brother. I'm working on bringing them back on the panel, so I'll keep y'all posted on that. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to Black Yankee for the $5 donation. He says, here in New York, if the baby mama is on welfare, child support would take a majority, and the baby mama only get like $50. Killed the cash cow for a cheap steak dinner. Hashtag dumb. Yeah, Lamont Sanford at his finest. Matter of fact, I'll let Reverend X speak that one.
You fucking income fucking poop.
It's not. It ain't just in New York. They do that in Illinois. If you put the man down on that state check to get that welfare and shit like that, she will walk away with $40 in blunt in her mouth. And they thought they were gonna get the child support and the motherfucking that special ed ass link card shit. Nah, you get like $50. They take majority of that because they want their money back. Shout out to you, my brother. Let me salute you. Shout out to Kareem, not Karen, for the $1.99. Said it's time for a class action lawsuit, fellas. They've been trying to do that for years with the fathers' rights movement with the white dudes. White, black, Hispanic, they've been doing it for years. Not saying it won't never happen, but so far it ain't been looking good. Sign petitions, try to go to the federal government and all that stuff. Now that I know that the federal get 30%, I thought they match it for the state. but they get a percentage of this shit too. It's all about money. So that I mean, I say try to do it, you know, but it's gonna take a lot of years, a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of connection. You gotta have that right lawyer. If you do it yourself, you're gonna need a lot of time, and you gotta sacrifice a lot of shit. So, but it's possible. Shout out to you, Kareem. She's in New York too. You know, what that? Yeah, that's everybody. So, yeah, but y'all remember Lamar Sanford? You big dummy. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, when people be talking about, man, I'm on child support, I got a baby mama Tara, she lied to me, she sent me off, that ain't my kid. Even if they don't come out and say it, stop jumping the gun, talking about, oh, you just want to be a father, you low life deadbeat piece of shit, and you don't even want to hear the whole story. All you care about is a man, quote unquote, crying and whining about being a responsible father, but he only get 1 hour out the fucking week. You can't make this shit up. Shout out to I want to say shout out to Red Tag Army. Two good dads are getting bad end of the stick. Yeah, shout out to you. And also, I'm gonna make sure I do that alimony sometime next week. I ain't forgot it all. I got you. This shit is real. Soapbox said I need to be a politician. I'm gonna let you know if they find out about me trying to be a politician, what they'll say. Shit. I'll be one of them JFK getting a dot on my head. Shit, I'll be damned. They won't allow that one. Shout out to Lee Smith for giving a $2. And they said only these step studs will get father's rights. Shh, I gotta let me tell you that one. Shit. Nah, because they go through the divorce, they gonna definitely get it. Shout out to you, my brother. You know, but yeah, man, on some real shit, man. Take heed of this. Even though Michigan is the mastermind when it comes to paying for a child is not theirs, Michigan is not the only state. Majority of states got the same shit. It's just Michigan is the strictest and the worst. And again, 1.3 million men are paying for children that's not theirs. Whether if they was name was just written on there, whether if they was the they was having sex with somebody that was married, whether they knew it or not, or even the ones that, hey, we lived in the same household, I adopted a kid, which I think that's the dumbest motherfucking shit you could do is adopt somebody's kid because we together. Now, if you go adopt somebody at, with the foster care and all that, I'll go with that if that was what you want to do, but I wouldn't adopt no baby mama Terry's kid. And these baby mama Terry's will do that shit even when the man's in the picture. But she's alienating them, so she try to find a way to set you up for failure. Shout out to Healing Force Awareness. I appreciate you, sister. It's all good whenever you can. I'm just trying to upgrade my couch. So y'all definitely need to take heed of what I talk about. Like I say, when it comes to y'all getting your feelings and you talking about, oh, it's the hat and it's the curse words for me, the same motherfuckers on YouTube cursing shit too. But since they more feminine energy and shit is justified, all I can tell you is this. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. And it is what it is. I'm just waiting on somebody to call me a liar. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for people to call me a liar. I'm full of shit. I made it up. It ain't like that. And come with some facts to discredit my shit. So I'm not going to hold y'all no longer. You see how this system really is. I'm going to keep putting it out there for the ones that want to know and learn. Shout out to the mothers who believe in equality when it comes to parenting and not depend on government daddy. You definitely have to speak your piece as well. It's very important, but as men, we have to be the leads for that. So appreciate y'all support and appreciate y'all subscribing. It's going up to the 10,000K, the 10K, but I don't give a fuck because out of the 10K, I guarantee it's only going to be 15, 20% who really support the channel. So the number don't mean shit to me. Matter of fact, when I get to 10,000, I'm going to bleep that shit out. Don't matter about that. I'm just fucking with the real ones. I told you, I'd rather have 100 killers than 1,000 soldiers. So on that note, I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation, wait a minute, let's thought about it. Before I go, I'm going to let y'all know that government daddy, these simple forces, these fake ass politicians, which they are civil forces, these baby mama terrorists putting men on child support, knowing they ain't father. I want to let y'all know that government daddy loves you and you're doing a good job.
Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Fuck that laundry. Fuck that dish. Take a break and shake that shit.
Shake that shit. Shake that shit. Y'all doing a goddamn good job. And on that note, you kiss my ass. I'll let Reverend X say it, then I'm getting the fuck out of here. Where that motherfucker at? Shout out to Reverend X. Fuck out of here. Where that motherfucker at? Well, here's one.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
And also, where's that motherfucker at? Here we go.
Kiss my ass, you don't like it.
Yes. Kiss my ass, you don't like it. All right. Yeah, Soapbox, please hit me up. You got my number. My number's the same. Hit me up. We can set that up. You definitely got an interesting story. And on his situation, you cannot make this shit up. So shout out to the Baby Mama Terry's Bounty Hunters. I will be on here tomorrow. And truthfully what it is. I'm Mr. Palmer. And this conversation is over. Fuck child support. Peace.
Baby mama terrorist.
Yeah.
BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. Round around, try to play the role, Miss Innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos. Behind closed doors, she rock them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another bitch instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Bitter milk, cool.
You got me now. You got me now. You got me now. Oh, you figured me out. You fucking income fucking poop. You figured me out. You got me red-handed. You got me red-handed.